all right. Let's get our screen oriented here and corrected. Hey guys, what's up? We're going to do some Spelljammer Eberron campaign design tonight. Let me take a listen here real quick to see if I'm coming through okay. Check. Listen here real quick to see if I'm coming through okay. Check. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And I don't know where my music's at though. I don't know where my music's at though. Let's push the volume up a little bit there. I'm going to pause and reflect just for a hot second to see if my sound's coming through okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's okay. It sounds like it's some background there. If anyone has any issue hearing the background music, I can crank it up a little bit. If it's too loud, I can drop it down. But we'll see how things sit. So let's see. Let's get our windows arranged here. We'll pop this forward, the background forward, so you guys can see what I'm doing on my desktop. Yeah, Eberron campaign. Let's take a look at the document that we've been building here. We're building asteroid communities today, and just to refresh. Hold on, button pressing. Spelljammer campaign. That collapses there. Okay, so here's Eberron. These are 10,000 mile squares. Eberron's at the center of the moon system. Eberron has 13 moons, but only 12 of them are known right now. The Dalcor moon disappeared when they did the rift. We have these orbits that the moons follow, each square 10,000 miles. So we have these in kind of a Super Mario World sort of format. We have asteroid clusters that we can travel to. We're starting off in this cluster here. The maximum speed that we're setting for Spelljammers for this campaign is 10,000 miles per day, which is basically when you take, if you scale that down from 10,000 miles per day down to 1,000 miles per 2 hour, down to 100 miles per 10 minutes to 10 miles per minute to 1 mile per round, that basically translate into on a combat grid, like a grid, your maximum speed in the ship would be 5 miles squares, or basically roughly in the scale of 1 mile. So a 30-foot movement speed in normal 5e combat is converted then into 5 miles of flight speed in a Spelljammer ship. So when we're operating in combat, we can move 1 square per day over in the overland movement. And if we were to zoom into one of the maps that we had built, like this is the, hold on, where is it? Let's crack this open. This is the community that we created last time in last session. This is a 60-mile diameter. So that means that each side of the icosahedron triangles is 30 miles per side. Each is 6 squares, which means 5 miles. So our mecha can move in basically 5-mile steps while we're in full flight. And obviously, we can hover and stop, and only take 5-foot steps if we want to. The mecha are 20 feet in size, so they can operate at the 5-foot scale with a little bit of difficulty, the 50-foot scale very easily, and then we can ramp from the 50-foot scale, the 500-foot scale, to the 5,000 or 1 mile scale, and then our top speed is basically clipping at 5 miles per square, normal speed of 30 feet, which then translates into 30 miles of flight per round, which translates into 6 squares. So if we had a kaiju attacking here, and when we get into orbit of this asteroid and say our closest touchdown point is over here, we would then, to get from, say, this between these two hamlets to this location where the kaiju is attacking me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if I take the dash action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Closing distance, but I won't be there until the next round. Next round, I'll move 5 miles to enter that space. We can then zoom into the 50-foot scale where most of the kaiju are either going to be operating at the 50 or 500 foot square. Using the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document that we created on the DMsGuild. I'll provide a link here for you guys to check that out. Spelljammer Combat and Exploration on DMsGuild is here. So you can see the full document. Hey, what's going on, Steve? It's good to see you. Here's the document that we created. It has a full preview, so you can click on that to check it out. But this whole 107-page book system is designed to flesh out Spelljammer to operate like a normal 5e campaign, where the characters are controlling ships and vehicles as though they were basically on mounted creatures at the 50 and 500 foot scale. So maps and movement, you can see here. Here's the 5 foot scale for like a hammerhead ship is 250 feet long. An elven warbird is 50 feet in size. So at the 5 foot scale, this is a 10 by 10, and the hammerhead ship is 50 by 50. And then at the 50 foot scale, the hammerhead ship at 50 foot squares, 250 feet. It occupies a 5 by 5 space at the 50 foot scale, while the warbird now occupies 1 square, 1 by 1, like a medium or a small size creature at the 50 foot scale. And then at the 500 foot scale, both the warbird and the hammerhead ship, despite their difference in sizes, both would occupy a single square, but they could occupy the same square. Like here, this is a 50, like this is a 5 by 5 space, but this 500 foot square here is a 10 by 10 space at the 50 foot scale. So you can obviously fit numerous ships at the 50 foot scale inside of a 500 foot square, which is where we get the fleet mechanics for having multiple ships operate inside of a single larger square. It's like this squadron of 5 Scorpion ships, each are 75 feet long, so they each occupy a 2 by 2 space at the 50 foot scale. But you could easily fit 5 or far more Scorpion ships in a tighter formation inside of this 500 foot square. This is a 10 by 10 space. At the 50 foot scale, you can have multiple ships. You can see how big the Star Moth ships are compared to the size of the Scorpion ships, but like these two ships can operate as a squadron, like as a unit, like chips and shit, like 2 motorcycles riding together. They both occupy the same 500 foot space. So when you zoom out, it's basically you could have all of these ships operate together as a single squadron at the 500 foot scale. So this whole system here is built around scaling in and out of scales, or size, so that your characters operating at the 5 foot scale can still be operating mecha and fighter craft at the 50 foot scale, and larger vessels and squadrons of ships at the 500 or even the 1 mile scale if you have an entire fleet that you're operating against another fleet. It just uses normal 5e action economy to maneuver around the board, depending on what role you're playing. Whether you're currently focusing on a spell jamming helm, you can then be the pilot. If you're focusing your attention on siege weapons and issuing commands to siege crews, then you are a siege commander. If you're using an orrery station to track movement of ally ships, you can operate as a squadron commander, moving multiple ships with your action economy. Or if you're utilizing any sort of an orrery device, spell amplifier, or if you're operating a helm, you can take on a support role. And all of these different roles have different uses of action economy, whether issuing verbal commands, object interactions, actions, bonus actions, how a pilot can use attack actions because you're piloting the ship. But you could also issue orders as a siege commander to, like if you were operating a Scorpion ship as the captain and the pilot, you can use your attacks to attack with claws, but you could also, like, say, use your bonus action to issue an order for a siege weapon to attack, like a ballista on your back. You could have the crew that's operating the siege weapon there. You could use your bonus action to have them issue an order to fire ranged weapons as well. And then you obviously, you have your reactions, and depending on what type of role you're playing on the ship is going to determine what sort of reactions you can use. You can have multiple siege commanders. You can have multiple squadron commanders. You can have multiple support. You can even have multiple characters piloting And so they can use their action economy together to get more movement and attacks out of the ship during your team's round of combat than what a single pilot could do. But you could also mix and match your action economy. You could, like I was just saying, you could attack as a pilot, use your bonus action as a siege or squadron commander. You could use your reaction as a support character. Everyone has their action economy that they can chip in to taking actions. And when it's their individual turn, whatever action economy they have left to activate during their turn, they can just use that. Or I could just dump all of my action economy to support other people and not take any actions at all this turn, which is a good thing to do if somebody's stuck in the toilet or taking a smoke break and you don't want to break the flow of combat. It's like, I'll just support, just dump my action economy on reactions. And then they just dump their action economy and you help the rest of your team achieve what they want to do during their turn. And they sit back down, hand out some beers, and just kick it. So this is the base mechanic that we're using to build the mecha and the kaiju that we're fighting in space, in orbit, around in Eberron on these little asteroid settlements. So we built out the first settlement. If you're interested in looking at the work in progress, here's our campaign workbench. If you click it, it takes you here. These are all read-only documents. They're still works in progress. A lot of this stuff is going to end up being new document PDFs on the DMsGuild. So just like with the Spelljammer book down below, like our Bastion mechanics that we're using to build out the settlements and communities, this is going to end up being a supplement on the DMsGuild using the 5e24 DM Bastion system as a basis for building skill checks and skill challenges for your characters to command organizations, the whole settlement, the communities, churches, guilds, fleets, at a geopolitical and dominion style play. And then we have our orbital. We have the Spelljammer document, the Spelljammer subclasses that we can play test during this campaign, and the actual mecha Kaiju and Constructs, I think is what we're going to call it. Spelljammer, Kaiju and Constructs. This is the actual mechanics for building mecha and building Kaiju. So this session, we're going to focus less on Spelljammer and Kaiju and mecha, and we're going to stay focused on creating our Bastion communities. Once we have all of our Asteroid communities, once we have all of our Asteroid communities built, we can then use these for Kaijus to attack. And when a Kaiju attacks, it deals damage to the settlement, which is translated into Bastion points. Bastion points are used to maintain facilities and hirelings within the settlement and within bastions within the settlement to perform orders that are carried out, kind of like downtime activity that your character doesn't have to participate in. You issue the orders to the NPC hirelings in the different facilities, and they perform that task as downtime activity while your character's off doing something else. So when a community is damaged by a kaiju, it will deplete points, and those points, depending on which region of the asteroid is, like if the kaiju attacks over here, like we're looking, we know from the last session, this is all fields. These are all field work, crop fields that are being tended to. And so if the kaiju attacks this area, it's going to deal damage to the gardens and greenhouses that represent the different farms that are in this bastion. So if, like, we did 5 points of kaiju damage to the community, this is this particular community is Capital Rock. So let's go look at Capital Rock real quick. Here's Capital Rock, and here's how its points are broken. Now we have 3 points invested in the greenhouses, which is represented as farms and small townships. And it has 2 gardens. Currently, those gardens are operating at disadvantage because there's a cold snap that's a detrimental condition that's affecting this particular community. So using anything involving the garden is at disadvantage because the garden representing crops is the cold snap is damaging them. So if the kaiju were to attack this particular, like I'm going to roll, when a kaiju attacks, I can roll a d20. Since this is a icosahedron, thank you, icosahedron, since this is a 20-sided die that's been flattened out into triangles, I can roll a d20, And like this will be a natural 1 is where the town is located, like the actual town, the center, where like 2,775 people live in this town. So if I roll a natural 1 on the d20, this is what's going to be attacked. But otherwise, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So each time the kaiju attacks, I can roll a d20. I'll just do it for fun. I rolled a 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the kaiju would attack this location, which we already know is forestry. So this is an active lumber. This is an active area that's being worked by lumberjacks currently. We have a crop rotation for the forest and for the crops, so that the soil can replenish over time. So this is an active forest region right now being lumbered for raw materials. And so in this particular instance, the kaiju is going to attack here. So let's say it's cloakers and a bunch of dark mantles that are like 50 to 200 feet in size. That's going to probably be like a third rank out of 3 out of 5. That's like a third rank threat. So it's going to roll a d8 to see how much damage it deals. It has 5 hours. I rolled a 5. So it's going to be on this asteroid feeding for 5 hours. And during those 5 hours, we'll have 5 die rolls. So it'll deal a point of damage to each one of whatever triangles it lands in. So we rolled 3 on our d20. So the first point of damage is going to be to here, which would then translate into guild hall, farms, wood mills, and towns. So we would deal 1 point of damage to the guild halls. So that depletes the effectiveness of the guild hall, reducing its rank to 1. And then we're on the next hour, because it's going to take the team time, depending on how fast they're moving. They can typically move 500 miles per hour. So just to back out a little bit and to look at the communities inside the square that we're starting, here's the 6 communities. So when the kaiju attacks, if they're like way over here on rock number 3, which is a second rank community, and the kaiju attacks Capital Rock number 1, which is a third rank community, hamlets, villages, towns, cities, and metropolises 1 to 5. That's how you rank up the scale of your settlement. That's the scale of the settlement. So number 1 is the only town in the region. There's villages here, there's village here, there's only hamlets here, there's village here, and there's village and only hamlet here. So this is the highest population rock that we already did. But if we're over here, like on this rock number 3, it's going to take 1, 2, 3. It'll take 4 hours for the characters to get from the Iron Mine Rock to Capital Rock to defend the community from the kaiju. So, and the kaiju is only going to be here for 5 hours. So by the time the team gets there, after 4 hours, it will have attacked number 3, and then it attacks 18, which is here. So it attacks here and chews up some points, then it attacks here and chews up some points, which would be like greenhouse. So it eats up some greenhouses, and then on the 3rd hour, the team is still approaching, and it chews up some more. Number 14, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So it starts here, it eats some forest, then it bobs down here and eats some field, and then it bobs over here and eats more forest. So instead of completely draining the guild hall altogether, we're going to now attack the lifestyle that's being maintained for this place, which is modest. Number 1 in lifestyle is poor. So the kaiju is attacking, it's depleting greenhouses, it's depleting guild halls, it's reducing the lifestyle of the asteroid down from a modest lifestyle to a poor lifestyle until things get repaired. And now on the 4th hour, when the team arrives, it is currently chewing on number 8. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to go here to here to here, and then it bips over to here, back to the forest over here. And this is, while it's in the forest, this is when the team makes contact with it. So when we zoom in, each of these squares is 5 miles. So when we do the kaiju attack, I can have just an easy like 10 by 10 space at the 500-foot scale that would occupy 1 mile. That's where you make contact with the kaiju, chewing on chewing on forest, or maybe lumberjacks in the forest, and it's chewing on them. So your mecha arrive, and now you fight the kaiju. And if you can bloody it or kill it, drive it away, you'll save that triangle from taking any resource damage because you got there on the 4th hour. And if you're able to defeat the mecha, the kaiju, and chase it away, then it won't have its 5th hour of feeding here. You made it run away early. So the settlement, the community as a whole, only took 3 points of damage, 1 to the guild hall, 1 to the greenhouse, and you took 1 hit to the overall lifestyle of the community, depleting 1 point there. So they actually have a pocket of 4 points. So instead of damaging our lifestyle, I'm going to choose to hit our pocket. It's an extra pocket of battery, of basically extra Bastion points that we can burn as basically temporary hit points when kaijus attack, so that we have this buffer that, like, we can take 4 hours worth of damage if I wanted to eat up all 4 points, for instance. In this case, I'm narrating that it did do some damage to farms, it did do some damage to the lumber mills, and but otherwise the community was able to absorb the loss. So that means you only have to repair 2 points, and this 3rd ranked community is capable of rolling a D8 to heal hit points each Bastion turn by issuing an order to maintain and repair the structures. So I'll issue that order, and there's no chance of failure on that order, but I rolled a D8 and I rolled a 1. So that means I only repair 1 point. I want to get my lumber yard, but actually food is desperate right now. So I'm going to repair that greenhouse damage. And unless I have extra orders laying around for me to issue additional orders to repair, my guild hall is going to remain, and my guild hall will remain damaged next turn. But the pocket is going to automatically be replenished during the next Bastion turn. So I only have to, next Bastion turn, I only need to repair 1 point, and all my operations are back up and running at 100%. If I had an extra order available, or if I wanted to spend an extra point for my pocket here, I could use that to issue an additional order, and as long as I roll 1 or better on a D8, I'll also be able to repair the guild hall. And now I'm heating up action economy of this community. It can't do, like, maybe I wanted them to make a new Spelljammer ship for me. It's like, well, our guild halls are being hit, so we don't have the current ability to build your ship. Your ship is on hold for an extra week until our guild halls are repaired. That's why I needed to issue the orders to repair, so that we can get it back up and running the next Bastion turn to continue building that ship that I need to go fight space pirates. So that's how the system works. And then we just use the scaling combat system for Spelljammer, build mecha, which are basically human-shaped fighter craft with like massive-sized weapons, which we already have all the rules for. We're just consolidating them and specifically pointing out, like, hey, normally these things are animal-shaped, but we're making ships that are human-shaped so they can act as mecha. Because when you pilot Spelljammers in the system, you're effectively wild-shaping into that vessel, being able to move the claws and the legs of the scorpion, or like flap the wings of the Warhawk ships, or like crawl around and like a spider could, and make attacks with the legs, or like with mandibles to make bite attacks. It's as though you've wild shaped into a 50 or even 500 foot creature. And so all the kaiju that we build are 50 or 500 up to 500 foot creatures, basically using those same rules. So it's basically like ship-on-ship combat, but it's depicted different. Like, we made a cloaker that's basically like a nautiloid, right? Or like a massive manta ray ship. Like, that's kind of how it translates. So all the mechanics are in place. We're just recycling those rules and putting different labels on them to convert the flavor of it from Spelljammer fightercraft and squadron combat to fighting groups of kaiju in our mecha with our weapons. So that's the skinny of it. So I'm going to shut up for a hot second, and let's get into physical. Drop that off. Let's open this one up. So this is the next asteroid that we're going to build. And the next asteroid that we're going to build is going to be dropping down here again. Let's look at the communities. We're just going to go in numerical order. So number 2 is this rock over here, and it has this electrum mine on this asteroid that's in close orbit to it, like maybe 200 miles away. So we're going to, let's make the community disappear. And now let's go look at the information that we have about the second community, which is Crag Falls. So here's our icosahedron that's been flattened out. But next thing that we need to look at is what is the size of Crag Falls. It's 27 miles in size, which means that each triangle. Let's go ask Grok real quick. If Google.com if a icosahedron is 27 miles in diameter, what is the length of each side? Given the value, we can calculate the diameter. Answer: the length of each side is approximately 14 miles. 14.19 miles. So that means that when we look at our triangle, we can scale this one down in particular so that each triangle is, now we know that each square on this map is 5 miles. So each triangle side is roughly 3 squares. So we can keep that 5-mile scale of operating, but we're going to reduce the size of the triangles down to 3 squares. Like that. So this is what we have we're operating. And again, the ships can fly at 5-mile squares per round. So if you have 30-foot movement speed, you can move 6 squares, and this is a smaller asteroid than the other one is. So we'll be able to close in and stay with them anyway. It doesn't really matter. We can traverse this like we can do a full circle around this, like what, start here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 dash 1 2 3 4 5 6. Next round, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So in 2 rounds, we can circumnavigate this entire asteroid community. So let's start breaking down the math of the community. It has a population of 346. So I'm just going to start filling in some details. 5 miles. Like the barbarian, if the barbarian is piloting a mecha and has the fast movement feature or whatever at 2nd level, that increases its speed by 10 feet. That would then translate into an extra 2 squares of movement during the barbarian's turn. So that barbarian would be able to push its mecha to go 8 squares instead of 6 squares. If I were to use granted, to teleport, for instance, Misty Step. Misty Step as a teleportation spell wouldn't teleport me 10 miles. It would drop down to, what's the scale of the mecha? 50-foot squares. So this is the 5-mile square to be on this asteroid. But again, during combat, we'll zoom into a 10 by 10 space that occupies 50-foot squares. And like, this is a forest that the kaiju is currently attacking. So here's different colonies of trees in the forest, and like we drop in zone here, and the kaiju is 100 feet, so it's over here as a large-sized creature currently munching over here with its tentacles. Nom, 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 nom. So I'm now going to take this 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 miles. That's my movement to then close distance and start hacking at the kaiju. And if we have multiple people that are running around in their own mecha, then they can come here and jump in and join the fight. And so I can have a few grids built out in Roll20 depicting some interesting forest terrain. Like I know there's going to be a kaiju, and I can like pre-roll which community it attacks and which areas is it going to, and then prepare some simple maps like this so that when the team gets within reach of it, your 20-foot mecha versus this 100-foot kaiju, you're running around here like you can use the forest as cover for you to pop out and take shots at it while it's looming over the forest and dropping down and eating stuff. So like you can run around from tree to tree clump to get an angle on it, to jump and ambush it. You can use the forest as cover for your terrain. And if you do enough damage, the kaiju will try to escape. And at that point, it's an open space at the 500-foot scale. Your carrier spelljamming ship can then fire siege weapons at it, potentially killing it if it can't escape fast enough. So that's the general idea, kind of a Pacific Rim sort of idea that we're playing with. So that's the basis of how this thing works. Population, let's see, let's put in pop is 346. Oops. Let's do that. And this. All right, let's get back to work here. So we're gonna build out the community. We're gonna look at the resources, goat pastures, and Electrum mine. So the Electrum mine, if we go back and look at our map, the Electrum mine floats separate from the rest of these from the settlement. So they actually have to carry people over to. This is the wrong scale. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. So you see, this is up to 500 miles away. We have major Spelljammer helms, which can do 500 miles per hour, but minor helms, a major helm costs 4,000 gold. It's a rare magic item. Minor helms can only pilot ships up to 50 feet in size, and they can only move 500 feet steps per round, like a total of 3,000 feet of movement is what your normal movement would be in a minor helm. So there's plenty of skiffs and carrier ships that are basically 50 foot ferry boats that they can pilot over to the Electrum mine and then load up with Electrum ore and then bring them back to the main rock. And your characters, one of the things that your ships are doing during the week of Bastion turn when you're not busy fighting kaiju or pursuing your own adventure stuff is your Spelljammer ship acts as a carrier that takes materials like from this asteroid here over to Capital Rock, where there's smelting facilities that they can convert the ore in. They can refine the ore into ingots. So the Electrum mine is one of the major sources of income for this entire community. So I'm going to also want to map the Electrum rock separately, and I haven't specifically rolled up how large the Electrum mine is, but for it to have a spherical gravity, it has to have at least 10 miles in diameter. So I think what I'm going to do is roll a d4 plus 1 times 10 miles to determine the size of the asteroid. So I'm going to roll my d4 and add 1, and I got a 3. So it's going to be 40 miles in size. So while we're building out this community here, I want to let's do this. So we have, this is the main asteroid, and then how far away? Let's roll a d8 times say 50 miles. So I rolled a 7, so it's 350 miles away. 350 miles to the asteroid rock. So let's have, this is our main rock here. And then if it's 40 miles in diameter, and each of these squares is 5 miles, that means if it was a square, each face would be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would be an 8 by 8 space per side, right? That's basically the space that this asteroid would occupy. But I don't want to leave it as a cube. I think what I want to do is instead I'm going to represent it as a D4. So let's, I'm just going to grab this chunk here like this. Copy, paste, and I'm going to kick this up here like that. Although a triangle, I mean, obviously a triangle isn't a very accurate map, but it's better than trying to do a D20 where it's only, what, 20 miles? So it'd be like 4 on, it'd be 4 on a side? Jesus. Hey, what's up? Junga Texas? Yeah, man, let's see what you roll. We'll see where the kaiju attacks next. On this one, I only want to use a D4 because it's just an asteroid. So I don't even have to pretend it's spherical. It does have spherical gravity, but it's just a map. It's just a representation. So let's do like you got a 2. So on the other asteroid community. Number 1 is the city, number 2. So this would attack this area right here, which is a bunch of farmland right next to the lake and the town. That's the hub of the entire asteroid community. So attacking this would deplete the garden or the greenhouse facilities of this community. And and it's basically eating farmland and cows and goats and farmstead, like farmers and stuff like that. Just a giant kaiju coming along, just eating up this triangle of land. Maybe it dips in and eats fish that are in this small lake. That would be how you would narrate it. Every hour that a kaiju is attacking a community, in this case it'd be a D20. On the other one that we've been building, we're building this asteroid community here, and then here is the asteroid where the electromine is at. I would have a D20, I'd have a D4, I'd basically have 4D6, or rather, it'd be 4D6 plus 4 minus 4 would give me a range of 1 to 24. So I could then roll 1 to 24, and if it's like, say, 21, 22, 23, 24, it's over. It jumps from there over to this asteroid to chew on whatever's on this asteroid instead. So I just want to get this thing calibrated so it's the right size. Let's see, 80 miles diameter should mean 40 miles per side. No, that's not right. No, we'll just do it. We'll just do it simple, Simon. So we'll just do 8. No, that doesn't feel right. Let's see. Let's try this. If a 4-sided die is 40 miles in... Oh, that's the problem that I'm having. I made it bigger. I made it bigger than the actual asteroid community. The actual asteroid community we're attempting to illustrate right now, it's only 27 miles in diameter. That's why my brain is breaking so much. This asteroid is supposed to be smaller, so I just depicted it at the wrong scale. It was gonna be D4 plus 1 equals squares, and so we rolled a 4. So I'm just gonna make this. I'm thinking too much. I rolled a 4. Let's just make each triangle 4 squares. There. So this is our asteroid. This is our Electrum asteroid. And this one is Crag Falls. So what does Crag Falls got going for it? Smithy, storehouse, guild hall, barracks, stable, workshop, and then it's maintaining. It currently has a poor lifestyle and has a pocket of 3 Bastion points to absorb any damage. If you're issuing orders, a second-ranked Bastion has 3 orders that it can issue. One has to be the maintain lifestyle. The other 2 can be whatever they want. In this instance, they're harvesting Electrum ore, and they're harvesting animal as a food outsource for Capital Rock. So, and they have on Crag Falls, they have Goat Pastures and the Electrum Mine. So the Electrum Mine we know is actually on a separate asteroid. So one of the guild halls is going to have to be a what's the word I'm looking for? One of the guild halls has to be a ship dock for spelljammers, jamming dock, space dock. Thank you, space dock, and mining facility and mining operation. So the space dock is on here, and the 1 point that we have in the guild hall, that's going to be over here, representing the mining guild that's extracting Electrum. So there's 1 point here. Let's see, there's a total of 13 Bastion points, and only one of those points is actually allocated to over here. So if this asteroid gets attacked, it's going to, on a roll of, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, on a roll of, no, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. On a roll of 1 on the D4, it would be attacking the mining operation directly. If it rolled 1, 2, if it rolled 2, 3, or 4, it would be attacking or chewing on a section of the asteroid that isn't being worked currently, so it doesn't do any damage to the place. You got 9 on D20s. So yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and put the mining operation smack in the middle, and it's going to be a small operation. So I'm just giving it 1 square of space as its own. Oops, I need to build a separate layer here before I get too carried away. There we go. Okay, cool. So we have our basics that we're starting to get set up here. Set down. Now we can start a separate layer here for where our resources are at. What's up? Yeah, D20s are fun. Yeah, you got 9 D20s on you. Right on. I typically have 4 or 5 on hand with me at any given time. Here's the I use an old shaving box for my dice box, and the lid comes off, and the way that it looks, you can see here, is here's where I keep all my dice jumbled up, and then here it's a 3-sided, it's a 3-line box, so I can put the lid of this next to the box, and I can pull any dice that I need from the box and roll them in the pocket here, and you can see that I've just rolled. No, you can't see it. Never mind. Anyway, oh, that just got away from me. All right, but yeah, I use a little shaving box. It's a super small little. I could technically put it in my pocket if I need to, but it's jammed full of D6s, D12s, D8s, D20s, a couple D4s, very few D4s. Who the hell needs D4s? If you really need to, you can just roll a D8 and divide by 2. D4, most worthless die. Anyway, so we know we have our mining facility here. Mining operation, and let's see. We can drop down here, and we'll look at. So the settlement has a population of 346. second ranked community requires 10 miles, so the central population of 346 occupies a 2x2 space. I'm going to, out of 9, I got 7 rolls above 10, a 9, and a 20. Give me a D20, and we'll see which square the town is located at. I need a 2x2 space, basically like this. I'll make this one number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then we'll go like that to 20 over here. So roll me a D20, and we'll see which of these triangles the community, the hub of the community is located at. And I'll wait for that to come through. So I know that we have, this is the North Pole, this is the South Pole, this is our central equator. Get out of here. Thank you. What the? I said get out of here. Scallywag. 3, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the town, a town. So the largest community in this place is a town, right? So town. It's a rating of 2. So rank 2. It's Hamlet. I'm sorry, a village. Hamlet, village, town, city, metropolis. So this is a village. A village requires a minimum of 10 miles. So let's look at the Bastion Campaign. Let's scroll down to settlements. Second here to scroll down to the settlement section. This document is linked down below under Bastion Campaigns. It's read only, but you can read along with me. Governing bastions and settlements. So a second ranked village has a minimum population of 100 and a maximum population of 1,000. The entire community on this asteroid has a population of 346. So for us to go from 10 miles is the minimum size with 100 people, and it can then flare up by the time it gets to 50 miles in size or more. Let's see, radius. Okay. So, what am I trying to say? A population of 100 or more needs to have this much area covered. That's for 100 people. Since our population is 300, basically our population is roughly 350. For us to get from a population of 100 to 1,000, I need to tack on 100 is 10, 1,000 is 50. That means what? Each 50 people, every 50 people is a 5-mile radius space. So let's go with I really want to make that not a radius. I really just want to make that minimum area of 5 miles. I'm going to get rid of the radius for now because I don't think I used minimum area. Yeah, I'm going to do it that way. That feels right. So minimum size is 10, so that basically means that each square is 50 people. And we have 350 people total in this community, which means we need 7 squares worth of population on this map. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I need to disperse these 28 squares across the surface of this map. They don't all have to be clustered in the same location, though there will be one central hub that is going to represent the most people, but it's still going to be spread out for like farming and shit like that. So we're going to have one square up here, and this is going to have a population of 50 miners. Pop 50. So at any given time, there's 50 miners and administrators and stuff like that that are working the mine here. So that takes care of one of our cubes. We are working, harvesting material for goat pastures, So we are providing mostly meat and animal products on this asteroid. So that means we need to have we have 50 people. We've been breaking these up on the other asteroid. We broke these up so that each farming community had 25 people in them. So we can take, let's see. Oh, that's a good point. We actually need, no, that number was actually correct. Hold on, I got to go back. I have to recant. No, that number was actually correct. Hold on, I got to go back. It is minimum area. That's right. It actually is that much. So I need to double this. So it's going to be a total of 14 squares at the 10 by 10 scale. So we'll do one here. We're going to do one here. And then you'll see how we break this down. So we need one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's bring this one in a little bit closer. 14. And I'll cluster this one in here. So this is the amount of this is the actual area that is occupied by that's actually being utilized right now. So this area out here, this is wildlands. There's only a few miles of space here and there, like 5, 10, 15. There's a 15-mile stretch here that it isn't being utilized. So there's an empty parcel over here. But this is the actual territory needed to have as crops and land ownership and infrastructure. Like, this is the total area required. But we don't, this would represent, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 14 squares divided up between a population of 350. So that means each of this only needs 25 people. This only needs 25 people, 25 people, 25 people. Each one of these 10 by 10 areas only need 25 people. And that is not going to be necessarily evenly distributed. So if this is field land, I can actually have a small hamlet, a population center, if you would, a community of ranchers that are all basically bundling up their houses next to each other, and then out like if I had a homestead of like, here's my farm, here's your farm, here's another farm, here's another farm, and then each of us have basically 30 miles, or in this case, we'd have 10 miles worth of farmland going out in all directions from us that we're basically sharing amongst us as a collective. So this 10 by 10 mile area has a small central structure of only like maybe a mile or two. So all we have to do is space each of these squares. Like, this is where a population center is at. We'll have another population center here. This will be a hamlet here. And you can actually, that'd be a little bit too close. Let's put it here. So we have all of this room between there and there to hit our borders, right? We're neighbors. These are neighboring communes. So we have them broken apart enough that they have a very strong rural field. But each one of these little farming, these goat herding communities are all stretched out, so they have pasture land for their
goats to graze on, and that's where this place creates its commerce from goat herding and the electrum mine that's over here. So we're gonna have, let's say it's a decent sized operation. Let's put 100 people here on the mining at any given time. So we're gonna push that population to 100, and so that means we have 250 left. So we're going to have, let's say, a central hub, a 10 by 10 mile area that's going to be a stronger central community. Let's put a population of 100 here. We have a population of 100 here. Oh, we should drop that down to 50 because that feels a little heavy. So let's go with 50 here. That's 50. 100, that's 150. This is 100, and that's 200. So we now have another collective over here of 25. Goat farmers, goat herders. 25 here. One, two, 25 here. 25 here. Hopefully this is making sense. Right on, man. A population of 100 can fit inside of a 2x2 space. That feels a little big, so let's look at how did we do the other settlement. I think it has a 2x2 space. Right, 2x2 space for a town, a 1x1 for a village or a hamlet. So that's going to track. So we only need a 1x1 for our central. This is our headquarters here. And it's going to have, let's say it has 100 people here. Ish. 100 and, let's call it 96? 96 here. 146. 196. 1, 2, 1, 2. You need to be a little bit more spread out. Let's put you here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We could put another one here. There. So this is how our population is basically distributed, and we know that we need to use up basically this much. Let's try that again. Okay. We need to use up this much terrain. There. So that basically leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles basically being unused. So we don't need this one. We don't need this one. We don't need this one, or this one. The rest of these, probably don't need this one. There we go. So this is about the territory that we actually need to use. I'm going to add this to a separate layer. Don't need this, don't need this, and don't need this. This one's being used. This one's being used. This one's being used. This one's being used. And this one's being used right now. And this one is unused. This one's unused, unused, unused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unused. Boom, boom. Is that tracking right? Yeah. Unused. So these are fields. These are regions. These line exclamation points means in use. I'm sorry. Circles mean in use. And X's mean damaged. And there's nothing. Actually, there is a lot of damage right now. Because it's at disadvantage, this whole area is in a cold shock right now. So it actually is at disadvantage. So I'm going to put X's on here for the ones that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that don't operate currently, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's drop this one down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That feels about right. Okay, so yeah, that feels good. So this is our core. This is where everything's actually being worked. The circles are representing. So like if we were to have, this would be number 1, because this is the actual town. And so looking at the town, we'll have a workshop, a store. No, let's do a guild hall and a storehouse. There. So we have a guild hall and a storehouse on this location, representing the mining operation. Everything that has a 2 needs to be located in this specific location, other than the guild hall and the storehouse, which were special provisions specifically because of the mining operation. Anything that has a number 2 next to it is going to be located in the central town. So stables will be in the central town. Barracks are at the central town. Guild halls are in the central town. Storehouses in the central town. The smithy would make sense being in the central town as well. But we could have workshops, guild halls representing. What are we going to represent that as? Hold on. That's right. Stables are going to be represented as herding, goat herds. That's right. Stables are going to be represented as herding and slaughterhouses. No, that doesn't feel right. Let's go to space dock and mining operation. The storehouse has harvesting for electrum ore and goat processing. And then the barracks maximum supply of barracks at this population can have up to 10 soldiers per dot. So we've got 20. We got a total of 20 soldiers. So we're going to have a barracks here at the central location, and we're going to have, we'll have a barracks over here too. That makes sense. And a garrison of 5 troops here. Barracks 15 here. Goat herds. Yep. And stables representing goat herds, right? So all these fields are for everywhere there's a dash. Every triangle that has a dash in it is land that can be grazed and herded. These are the areas that are currently being grazed and herded. So there you go. That's how that works. You kick your herds of goats around. They chew on stuff. You have to move them to another triangle. Otherwise, they'll chew everything down to bare stone and kill the vegetation. So you have to rotate it. These are currently actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, the poles tend to be colder. So I'm going to make an adjustment here. Let's use cold snaps the way that they should be used here. So we're going to cold snap here. Cold snap, cold snap, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. We can do this. Like that. So there's an unnatural cold snap that's happening in this region right now because of a Frisia manifest zone that's erupted in an orbit nearby. Erase all of that. X. Now I'm just going to mark all of these just to represent rotating fields and not worry about which one are they at the particular moment. So, but this is the distribution of our communities. I think that sits pretty nicely. Let's grab this and bring it in a square and bring you in a square. That way when we're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That works. Okay. And these aren't, these aren't ruined. They're just not useful right now. We are currently still working this triangle for the Electrum mine. But if we expanded operations, like here, we could potentially expand out to here and shift this facility over so it's representing both of them. But for now, this is good. Here, 0. There we go. So guild hall, storehouse, barracks. We have barracks located here. Now let's look at the unique facilities and see if the unique bastions are located in or out of the central town village. There's Polly's Potion Emporium, which is second rank. Polly's is going, since it's second rank, and it's a potion emporium that is focused on meditation chambers and laboratories, a pub, and right now it's just punching out minor healing potions. That is going to be located in town. So we'll put a mark here. Located in Central Village. The capital is automatically located in the Central Village, which is Hunter's Lodge, which is the governing bastion of Crag Falls. Located in Central Village. Government, settlement, it has menagerie. Apparently, it is training brown scavers as mounts. That's kind of cool. We have the laboratory, which ties into Polly's Potion Emporium. It has its own smithy and a training area, and it's scouting the region to find potential threats that might attack the community or attack the Electrum mine. And then, so that is the Hunter's Lodge, which is the main. It's automatically, in the capital. And then Polly's Potion Emporium is a second rank bastion unto itself. So it could either be on its own, it could be in one of these little goat herding hamlets, or it could be like way over here on the Asteroid mine. But given what Polly's Potion Emporium is, I would say it's in the town. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, there's Omitar's Anvil. Onatar, the sovereign of fire and forge, in Eberron's world, the god, he inspires all who create and aids artificers, craftsmen, and smiths. It's also second rank. It's loaded up with a smithy, scriptoriums, pubs. It happens to have a spy network, which is like basically divine oracles. It has a gambling hall, a sacristy, and it's maintaining a comfortable lifestyle. And how is the community itself standing right now? The actual community, it has a poor lifestyle. So Onatar's Anvil maintaining a comfortable lifestyle is actually outpacing the normal community. So like that's like the rich ones. Polly's Emporium is currently maintaining a poor lifestyle because it's grinding everything out for healing potions to keep the team alive. And squalid lifestyle for Hunter's Lodge, the governing bastion. So it is sacrificing. It is suffering. The community itself is what would we say it was? It was poor. Yeah, it's a poor lifestyle. But the actual government, the actual bastion that controls the settlement, is currently going through. Shit poor squalid lifestyle. Jesus. Okay, but that's the community. So that's roughly how the community sits. So if a kaiju were to attack this community, here. So when a kaiju attacks, we roll 1d6. For a roll to 1, it would attack Capital Rock. If it attacked number 2, it would attack Crag Falls. 3 over here, 4, 5, 6. So if our team is currently at Capital Rock and the Electrum Mine gets attacked, it's 1, 2, 3 hours away. So if it's a second rank threat, like CR up to CR 5 kaijus, then it would be a D6 that would roll. So I roll a 3. So it'll take 3 hours for the kaiju to ransack and eat this place, but the team is 3 hours away. So the team is not, I'm sorry. It takes 3 hours to get there. The kaiju feeds for 3 hours. So for the first 2 hours, the kaiju has free reign to eat anything that it wants. And then on the 3rd hour, the team arrives, potentially saving it from being further chewed up. So if you want to roll a d20, hey, welcome back. We'll roll a d20. Let's see where the kaiju is going to attack Crag Falls. And I'm going to roll 2d4 plus a d4 and subtract 4 to see across the entire gamut where could it possibly be attacking. So 10, 14, 16. So it'd be, we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the kaiju would attack this square. And then on the second square, if you rolled a d20, I'll give you a chance to roll if you want, and then I'll roll a d20. I'm going to roll a 2d46 plus d4 minus 4. You rolled a 10. Great, thanks. So it attacks. It attacks here first, which is fields. So this is going to damage stables. And because it's eating goats, because that's what's tended to out in these areas. It's basically goat farming. So when a kaiju attacks this area, it's not attacking the land. If it's a Metasaurus kaiju, then it's eating all the goats that are out in the pasture and any herdsmen that get in the way. And then you rolled a 10, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to attack here next, which doesn't have any, which isn't something that the population is currently tending to, so we won't take any damage over here, but we'll take a total of 2 damage. So it'll be 1 point of damage here. When you rolled it, there was nothing here, so they're not going to take any damage. And then I'm rolling the last one to see on the 3rd hour. It's feeding for 3 hours and then leaves. But on the 3rd hour, the team arrives. So the team can battle the kaiju and prevent it from dealing damage in the 3rd hour. But in that 3rd hour, it is currently grazing in area 19. So that would be here. So when the team arrives, the kaiju is attacking here. And if we can drive the kaiju away, it won't take any damage. If they aren't able to defeat if they have to retreat from the kaiju and surrender and give up or die or TPK themselves in the process of fighting the kaiju, then it will eat this point, and it lost a point here, and it lost a point here. So those will both come off of what would be the most sensible things for those to come off of the community. Probably stables. But it only did 1 point. It has a pocket of 2. So they could decide to eat 2 damage there and not actually have any of these pastures damaged. They have enough of a spare. These are basically like temporary hit points. So when you get attacked, you can afford to take damage here. And since it was spare points, those points are automatically recovered next Bastion turn. So technically, these guys aren't going to take any damage from this Kaiju attack. But the team doesn't know what's going to happen while it's happening. We'll have them roll and see which area gets attacked each turn. And then once they arrive, we'll have, here's your fight, and we'll do our fight. And if they win, they push off the Kaiju, they protect the community, they remain heroes. They can then issue an order for this. You don't need to repair anything because nothing was damaged. So no harm, no foul. This area is safe. But that's something that the team needed to do during the Bastion turn. And it'll probably be like an hour-long combat. And it'll be a little bit of fun to fuck around and find out. What is my favorite MTG set? I'm a big Kaladesh fan. I like the world of Kaladesh a lot. But I like Ravnica is my favorite setting for Magic for playing D&D. But because I love the Rubble Belt and I love the worldwide city that's been crushed underneath the worms. I like the variety of content there, but I would say as far as like card sets, I like the energy mechanic. I like how thick artifacts are inside the Kaladesh deck. I like the piloting vehicle rules for Kaladesh. Yeah, I'd say Kaladesh is my fave. Okay, well this is one of the Asteroid communities. So cheers to us. That's a victory, and that didn't take too long. So let's build another one. Duplicate this layer. Push this up. This will be community number 4. Where are we at right now on time? 7:40. Not bad. Holy Hannah. Oh, a lot of people watching right now. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. All the stuff that we're using, you guys can find out. God bless everyone. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications if you're interested in seeing this content in the future. I do game design like this on Mondays and Thursday nights, and Saturday, on Monday through Friday in the morning, I actually do all the illustrations for the books that I publish. So here's a bunch of books that I've already published on the DMsGuild. The Spelljammer combat mechanics are also on the DMsGuild. They all have 100% free preview. The Workbench that we're working on right now with these communities. This is inside this document here. It's read-only. The Bastion Campaign system that I'm using here for like the settlements and stuff. That's located here. It's also a read-only document right now. But once we finish building this book, we'll start doing artwork for it in the mornings, and we'll publish it on the DMsGuild. So you can read it for now. If you're interested in playtesting these mechanics and ideas, the Discord community is here. Anyone is welcome to join. If you're interested in playtesting and participating in these kind of campaigns, it's typically on Saturday mornings, Seattle PST -8 UTC, 9:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. is my typical running time on Saturday mornings. So I've been doing that for years. So if anyone's interested in tagging in, we're always looking for new playtesters. We're playing Strixhaven right now. We've converted Strixhaven Mage Tower into a 5e combat rugby system, so you can play D&D combat as a PvP sport that only deals temporary damage. Fling spells, hurt each other, steal a ball, run and score a goal. When you score a goal, all the temporary hit points are wiped, and we start, and everyone goes back to their sides, and then we do the kickoff, and then we engage in 5e combat, trying to score points and kill each other in the process, kind of like Blood Bowl for Warhammer, but it uses the 5e game engine combat mechanics. And you can check out those rules under my Strixhaven Mage Tower playlist on my channel here. And again, if you wanted to join the Discord channel, you could jump in there and check that out. But this is for the Eberron campaign. And again, we have our orbit here for Eberron. Here's Eberron with its 12 moons in orbit. Each square is 10,000 miles. So we can zoom in Super Mario Brothers world. We only have a 10,000 mile speed per day. So each square on a spelljamming ship, you can move from one square to the next. The Lazar pirates are here. There's a Brelish Empire. I think we haven't quite figured out what empire this is going to be, but I'm thinking it's either going to be Breland or maybe Aundar. Possibly, probably not Thrain. I don't think I want Zealots out here. But because of the different moons, recently this asteroid community here has been settled by the Unseelie Court. Coming out, I can't remember the name of the asteroid. Hold on. The name of the asteroid that is involved with the Seelie Court is the Feywild. There we go, Phalanis. It's Ron, the book. Phalanis is in orbit number 9. So here's orbit number 9. So recently a manifest zone got spawned during a full moon when Phalanis came by. And as a result of it, a fuck ton of Unseelie Court Fae spilled out of Phalanis and are now occupying this asteroid and using their Fae magic to terraform it into an environment that they want. And they are now currently in combat fighting the 4th pirate of Lazar that is currently... the pirates had set up shop cutting our community off from probably Breland. This will probably end up being Breland. From this Brelish community here. This is habitable asteroids but aren't being utilized by anybody right now. So while our community attempted trade with Breland through these clean air winds, the 4th pirates set up shop here. Like we have Droam over here. That's a menace. And this might be Thrain or Aundar. I haven't decided yet. We haven't built it yet. But this is our hot. The pirates are now. They were being able to raid both Breland and our communities. But now that the Unseelie Court is settled, and the Unseelie Court is basically eating up all of this territory, and the 4th pirate of Lazar are the first people that are giving them any kind of a pushback. So that's a small hot spot that's starting to heat up that the team could decide that they want to get involved with over time, or they may want to exploit the battle between the Unseelie and the Lazar and kill off the 4th pirates so that they can clear their path to be able to open up trade with Breland. Otherwise, they're going to have to go through the Poison Sea to avoid the pirates. When you go through the Poison Sea, you're poisoned. So every D20 test you make while you're in the Poison Sea is at disadvantage. Most of the monsters that dwell out there in the Poison Sea are immune to the effects. They don't feel it. So you're at disadvantage on everything, and they're not at disadvantage at all. So it's a complete train wreck for you to go through the Poison Sea if you get ambushed. So out of safety, most people stay to the clean air routes. But again, with the pirates being there, that's also potential trouble. So it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So if the team wants to lean into the Unseelie conflict, they may very well be able to, like you have an Archfey Warlock on your team, they could have a patron, a part of that Unseelie court that's starting to occupy space in this territory. Pardon the pun. So that's like a fun little hook that people could build out with. I have a stack of my favorite set cards next to me. Oh yeah, Mirrodon. I think Mirrodon's pretty cool too. Got to admit. Okay, so that's how that's set up. So again, zooming into where we're located at, here's the asteroid community. This is the Frisia Manifest Zone that's causing unnatural cold. That unnatural cold is disabling some of the territories on each asteroid community. From like the poles are too cold now, and they, as a result of that, they're uninhabitable. Like you take cold damage and all the crops there die. So it's reducing the possible food supply to our communities, and so we're currently going through the process of building each asteroid home. Episode 17 last week, we built out Capital Rock here at point number 1, a 3rd ranked community, which is a town. We just finished building Crag Falls here, which is a 2nd ranked village-sized community. We're now going to come over to this asteroid community, number 3, which is working an iron mine, just like this one's working an electrum mine. And location number 3 is Redstone. So I have not pulled a... Right on, man. Redstone, second rank community, population of 763. So it's considerably larger than Crag Falls is. We could potentially have a problem. So 33-mile diameter means roughly 15-mile triangles on the D20. So that's just how the math works. So let's see if we can make the math work for this community. So we're gonna leave the diamonds. They're going to have to be 3x3, just like the other one, but it has a much larger population. So I'm actually really concerned about that. 1, 2, 3. I think that's large enough. Nah, it could be a little bit smaller. It could be smaller. There. When you have an icosahedron 33 miles in size, each line is going to be roughly 15 miles, and each square is 5 miles. So this diagonal is there. We have 1, 2, 3, roughly 3 miles, a little bit more. So there you go. That's about right. So we have a population of 750. That's big. So a population of 750 at the village scale. You can have a population of anywhere from 100 to 1,000, and each 50 population at this scale in a village occupies wait for it 10-mile radius. So I would need to have 16 2x2 squares. I don't even know if that's fucking possible on this size of a rock. So let's math it out and see if it's possible. And if it's not, we might have to get creative. So this is roughly a 2x2. That's 1. And then this is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6, roughly 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, this will work. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's the number of squares at the 10-foot scale. Like, this is the population that we need. Is that right? Hold on. Radius. I need to double that. Sorry. Population of 800 requires 40 miles radius. 40-mile radius. So that is going to be 10-mile radius per 10. That is a per 50. That's 16 times. I need 32 of these. My mistake. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Keep going. 17. I need 32. 18. 19. Oh boy. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. I ran out. I'm 4 short. 28. So I need +4. So we know that there's already an asteroid that's in orbit with us over here. So let's take a look again at that real quick. Look at our map. See, we have iron mine that we're working on this station over here. So let's go again, look at this. Redstone rank 2. Harvest material is crop fields and an iron mine. And we haven't determined the size of this iron mine asteroid yet. But the main rock is 33 miles. The iron mine has to be smaller than the asteroid, otherwise the settlement would be on the iron mine rock, not this rock. There also happens to be another rock over here that's within range. So let's roll Oracle dice and ask the dice for direction to tell us what is and what isn't. So we have 1, 2, 3 asteroids that are within reach of, what is it called? Redstone? Thank you, redstone. Because the iron, redstone. Is iron red? Copper is. Huh. Okay, maybe a bad title. I'm going to ask the Oracle dice, is that second asteroid, is this second asteroid where the rest of their crop population is at? 4 on 3 equals no. So that means that the iron mine is both crop fields and an ironing mine area. Is that correct? 3 on 3 equals absolutely correct. Okay, cool. So that means we can then redstone. We need 4 more squares, so we need to figure out the size of red. Let me go ahead and drop this away. And yeah, let's pick this up. We need 4 more, so we're going to need to have 1, 2, 3. So we need to fit these squares onto whatever this iron asteroid is. There has to be that much space available, capable of farming for farmland. Hey, what's up? Can you guess my favorite MTG creator? No, I can't. No, wait, it's Jingataxis, because you're Jingataxis. I'm guessing it's Jingataxis, but that's just an intuitive guess based on your name. Who knows what it actually is? So what shape do I want to use for this? If I could, let's see. I could use. We could use a cube. Oh, we'll shape this one as a cube. That seems to be the most intuitive way to do this. And let's do a We'll do a cube. Let's do, it's either going to be a 10, it'll either be anywhere from 10 to 20 miles in size. So I'm going to roll a d6, 10, 15, 20. I'm actually going to roll a d10 plus 10. d10 plus 10, I rolled a 7, so it's 17 miles. So we'll go 3 by 3. So we'll do a 3 by 3 square here. Let's do it like that. So this one's going to be a cube. Because we can do that. This is how a cube works. Now we'll put it here just for balance. This is our equator. And this are our poles, north and south poles. Thank you, Timely Timer. And an equator. Now we know we need 4 more squares. Ooh, I actually drew this smaller than it needed to be. Hold on. I did this wrong. Let's rebuild. We can build it again. We can build it better. It was 17 miles. So let's do 3 by 3 because each square is 5 miles. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is. Getting the Tactics. My favorite version of him is Core Augur. Gix is pretty cool too. I don't know cards well enough to know what that means offhand. I gotta admit. I'm pretty shaky on my card lore. Huge MTG enthusiast, pretty uneducated. There we go. South Pole, North Pole, equator. We need 4 2x2 squares to make this thing work. And we're going to keep those central. So we'll go like this. Like this. 1. 2. 3. We'll do it like this. It doesn't have to be that way. I could elongate it. I could instead do it like this. But this is indicating how much mileage needs to be devoted to producing food for these 700 some odd people to survive. That's 1, 2, 3. And then we could do I could do like that, and then we could just have a central strip like this. There. So all of this territory has to be used up for creating food, whether it's animal or plant material. It has to be devoted to food production for the population of 700 somebody to be able to survive in this area. And yeah, that works. I'm going to get rid of this equator line inside of here because this is causing visual static for me. I don't need it. There. And let's see. So we're going to have a central population, and the central population is going to occupy a. Let me take that, and let's drop this down. Yeah, we'll drop the opacity on this one. That's not working. Here we go. We drop the opacity here. And because of the cold snap, oh my god, this place is horrible. Favorite target is... let's see. For us, okay, so we have a problem in that this area is being afflicted with a cold snap. So this currently doesn't work. This doesn't work. The polar areas of each of these asteroid communities are cut off. Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Tenelier? Time liar. It's like a time cop, but like fraudster. This is cut off, and this is cut off because those are where the poles are at. Oh boy. Okay, and so that means we're short 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do not have enough land for us to feed everybody, which makes sense because we already determined that there's a large migration of population right now leaving Redstone because there's not enough food. People are actively migrating here to Capital Rock, where there's still resource. This is in the cold snap too, so a majority of people are moving over here, which is this community is called Far Hope. It's currently being attacked by a Kaiju Cloaker, but this is where everyone is basically migrating to when there's not enough food. There's not enough food for this population. There's barely enough food for Crag Rock. There's barely enough food for here. That's a good point. We have the Druid that is using plant growth as a spell to artificially increase crop production. So we technically can grow twice the food with half of the area available. So of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 here, 18 here. We're down 1/3 of our resources. And that makes sense. So let's add our central district. All of these areas have to be worked, so we're going to put circles on every one of these plots. I should do it differently. This triangle is being worked. This triangle is being worked. So if a kaiju were to attack, I'm going to fade this one down, and we'll go here. We'll go worked. I'll drop this one down. So if kaiju were to attack if it was like, say it attacks this asteroid instead of this asteroid, we'd roll a d6, and on a 1, 2, 3, or 4, it damages needed crops, which will end up reducing the amount of food that it can provide as a result of the kaiju attack. But if it was a 5 or a 6, it wouldn't cause any damage at all. Similarly, over here on the d20, we basically got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's basically a 50-50 chance that if a kaiju attacks the larger asteroid, that it will damage crop area, again, that's needed for food production. They can only lose, they can only afford to lose basically one triangle, and then they're in trouble. So if they needed 16 and we're able to, we can use the druid with plant growth to double our food. We technically only need 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can afford to lose half of these if we needed to. Which means that we only need to use half of them currently. We can leave half of them to fallow. So let me get this fixed here real quick. Erase that. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so only these 3 need, so we can disable these 3. They can be used, but they're not being used right now. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these triangles here is the, what is it? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Like that. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's drop this one off as nothing. Now let's just group them. Circle, 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 dash, circle, dash, circle, dash, circle, dash, circle. So being used, left to fallow for the year. Being used, left to fallow for the year. And the whole assembly can move down. So this year it's here. Next year these will all be circles and these will all be dashes. But that'll be longer than the campaign lasts. This is basically allowing us to leave patches of ground untended so that they can naturally recycle their soil and have, sustainable farming by using only half of the land needed, which thankfusly with the druid we're capable of doing even inside of this cold snap, but we have no margins of error. What is a very moderate used? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the meta right now, to be perfectly honest. So we have our triangles broken down. We have our used and fallowed area. Let's break this up a little bit better so that we can more evenly look at this. Let's go here like that and that. So this one's being used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's leave this one to follow. And this one to fallow. So these are down. 1, 2. Let's put this one down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Those are our active areas. So let's do rotation like that, so that these 5 triangles here are currently in use, and these 2 and these 3 triangles aren't. So this year they'll use these for fields, and next year they'll use these for fields. So that means we need to be on a pivot point between those 2 for our central town. So we're going to put our central village right here. And on this asteroid, we're going to put our central village right here. Down. I certainly seem to have an audience watching today. That's I'm glad people think this stuff is cool. God bless you guys. If you're interested in this stuff, on Saturday we're going to be working with Color Magic, and we're going to be taking the new Mystic classes, and we're going to be translating them into the Color Magic system, using both the Color Magic spell point variant rules that I have linked down below, and we've been building the Martial Power system, which converts the Barbarian, Fighter, Monk, Rogue into key users, kind of like the Monk as a mana system. So like your Rakdos Barbarian can have red and black mana, and you'll have a mana pool that you can then use for like damage, speed boosts, damage resistance, re-rolling saving throws. It's like instant and sustained aura effects, kind of like Magic the Gathering with creature cards, weapon equipment, enchantment auras on your characters, and global enchantments. Like those are like cards in MTG. By translating them into the color mana system for spell points instead of spell slots in the 8 schools of Magic, we can take all those card tech and translate them into character information and rebuild all the character classes and subclasses to work. Like if everybody used mana, how would these class and subclass features work? So if you think that type of stuff is cool, then I'm more than happy. I'll be doing that stuff on Saturday morning before we do playtesting for the Strixhaven Mage Tower Rugby playtesting that we're doing. So I'll be taking some time and going through the subclasses. I might actually do some of that at lunch tomorrow. So if anyone's interested in seeing me translating tech like that into the MTG color mana idea, like and subscribe. Stick around. I'll certainly be building on that sort of stuff. But so out here on this asteroid community over here, this is where our hub community is going to be. So I think we have a total of 769 people. So let's make a note here of population. Pop 769. That's the funny number. And for us to, so a village, a village can have up to 1,000 people. And once you get beyond 1,000, here I'll show you, in the settlements table. So a first rank, so ranks 1 to 5, and again this ranking system, this skill ability check system that we're using, the Bastion Campaign document. This takes the bastions from the 5e2 for DMG and translates it into basically skill challenges to complete orders. So each rank represents a proficiency bonus gain, like a +2, +3, +4, +5, +6. So like 1st level, 5th level, 9th level, 13th level, 17th level characters. So like if you have a 4th rank bastion, like a 4th rank workshop, it would be able to produce materials and create magic items and build things like a 13th level character could if they use their downtime to build stuff. But instead of forcing the character into downtime, you can issue an order to your workshop, build me that magic hammer, and depending on circumstances that are listed in this document, it'll take you anywhere from like a couple weeks to a couple months to build a very rare magic item, like in a 4th rank workshop. Fifth rank would be legendary magic items. So the population, the minimum population for a hamlet is 1, and once you get above 100 people, you're no longer a hamlet anymore, you're a village. So hamlet, village, town, city, metropolis, ranked 1 to 5. And the larger your settlement, the higher rolls, the higher skill checks you can roll to accomplish higher rank items on a scale of the bounded accuracy of D&D. Rank 1, DC 10. Rank 2, 15, 20, 25. 5th rank, DC 30. The bounded accuracy curve of the 5e game engine is if you need to make a check, it's going to be somewhere between 10 and 30. So on a scale of 1 to 5, what rank of difficulty is what you're trying to accomplish? Well, if you're trying to make a magic item, it's common, uncommon, rare, very rare, legendary magic items. So if you want to make a legendary magic item and say it's going to take 3 months for you to build it, then you would need to make a DC 30 roll on your ability check to be able to build that hammer. If you can't hit a DC 30, you're missing something. For some reason, you can't build that hammer. So that becomes a complication, which could become a quest, like a fetch quest, like you need pure mithril from the Mountain of Might. Well, we know that trolls have taken over the Mountain of Might and that the dwarves have been trying to win back that territory for a generation. Maybe if we could help them defeat the trolls, they'll reward us with some pure mithril from the mountain. So that sounds like a worthy 16th level adventure. Let's go do that for a couple of games. So we'll maybe spend 9 or 12 hours fighting trolls in the Mountain of Might. And at the end of it, we are given the mithril that we need to then go back and, as a result of our adventure, automatically get that DC 30 die roll. If we had just rolled it on our own and got the result that we needed, then we go build your hammer, no complications, come back in 3 months, you're cool. But if we can't hit that DC 30, it means there's something that was preventing us from succeeding on the die roll. And in this case, it was get the mithril that you need. So now that we have the mithril, the die roll automatically succeeds. Now that you have the mithril, come back in 3 months and we'll have a hammer for you. So, but like say our hammersmith gets attacked by kaiju and his workshop is destroyed. I can't continue building your hammer until my shop is repaired. So now you have to issue orders to repair that shop and see what you can do to prevent kaiju from coming and destroying it again. And since that operation got disrupted, you now have to roll another skill check to then sustain that task again. So now I have to hit that DC 30, and if I missed it, well, when we rebuilt the workshop, something's missing. I don't know, like maybe my key employee was killed during the kaiju attack, and you need to recruit somebody new. So now you could have your guild go off and recruit somebody new, and it'll take some time to do that. Or you can make it your mission to find somebody that you need as fast as possible, and that leads you on basically a fetch quest to go grab that guy and bring him back. He's not willing to come back until he knows his daughter's home is taken care of, because this crazy cold snap is threatening his only daughter, and she's just now starting a fledgling family. She wants to make sure they succeed. If you can help make sure that they're going to be okay, I can walk away from this and go help you build your hammer, knowing that my daughter and her home is taken care of. Now you're on whatever ridiculous fetch quest you need to take care of the daughter's home. Once you resolve that, the guy is willing to come along, and then you automatically succeed your skill check, and you can proceed with building your hammer. You see how that cascade of consequences happens? That's what the Bastion Campaign system is all about, is you can issue orders to do basically anything that your character could do. Cast spells, create scrolls, make magic items, find out Beelzebub's true name so you can torture him. Whatever it is that your characters want to do, your Bastions can scale up in power equal to what your characters can do, and then you can relegate tasks to them. Build me this thing, create a Spelljammer ship. I need 5 more Spelljamming helmets for my new fleet. Build all that shit for me, and if you have the resources and the facilities available to build all that stuff, you can get it pretty quickly. If you don't, it's gonna take more time. And you can trade for it, or you can build it yourself if you have the plans that you need. So you research the plans to build a Spelljamming helm, and then you need the materials to build the Spelljamming helm. So once you have the materials and you have the plans, now you can start producing Spelljammer helms to expand your Spelljammer fleet to go fight the Pirates of Lazar that are currently involved with the Unseelie Court, some 40,000 miles away. So it'll take a few days for us to get there, but once we have our ships, that's a good 13th level quest to go on. Defeat the 4th Pirate of Lazar to clear him out of your path, so you can have free trade again with Brayland, which is going to be like a 4th or a 5th rank community that's going to be able to level up all of your stuff, because we're currently limited to 3rd rank because none of our communities are larger than a town. We need to go to a city to get access to 4th rank materials, 4th rank hirelings, 4th rank plans. Like, until we can advance ourselves to 4th rank ourselves, we're going to rely on another community to trade with to get access to those materials. So it becomes a really fun geopolitical process of building out your, like, all these settlements are built on these bastion mechanics. So like Redstone is a 2nd rank community. It has a population of 769, which we know here is a village anywhere from 100 to 1,000 people. A 769 is somewhere between 750 and 800. So on a scale of 10 to 50 miles, every 100 population equals I need to occupy a 5-mile area of space. But because we have druids that are casting plant growth, instead of having 10 square miles per 50 population, we only need 5 square miles per population. So a 5-mile square is sufficient instead of a 10-mile square. You see how that works? Or a 5x5, which is a 10 space, instead of 20 by 20. A 10-mile radius is a 20-mile space, which is a 4x4 square at the 5-mile scale. But because we have a druid, each 50 people only needs a 2x2 at the 5-mile scale, which means that we need 8 times 2x2, 8 times 20. That's 160 miles broken up into 10 mile chunks. We need 16 10-mile chunks, which is what we have here, which is what we've been doing for the past 20 minutes. So let's continue on. This is where our population center is going to be. It's the size of a village. And it's already the size of a village, but the single largest population, it has to remain fairly small. So we have all these areas that need to be occupied, and each square, like each 10 by 10 space, requires one 5 by 5 square to have a population of 25. So for every 10 by 10 miles of space of farmland, we have one 5 by 5 space populated by a population of 25 farmers or herders or whatever. And then inside this 5-mile space, we can support up to 100 people. So we're going to have 100 people in this population center, but if I make it bigger, we could expand up to potentially 400 people here. So I think I'm going to make this cluster here. I'm going to shape it like this. This is our central village, and it has a population of 300, which means I only need to account for, let's make it a population of 269. So we can get rid of that fraction. And that's going to leave us with we need 500, a population of 500, which could be 20 of these squares. And for us to have appropriate amount of plantation and crops and land, each of these has to be at least 10 miles apart. So I can dot in a pot, but now we're hitting territory that we're not using. So I'm going to drop that out of the way, and we're going to go 1, 2. Let's put this one. Yeah, let's put this one here. 25. 1, 2, 1, 2. We can put another one here. 25. We might have to up the population here. Let's push this. Yeah, we'll leave it at 269 for now if we can. 25, 25, 25. We need a total of 500, which equals, Jesus, 20 of these. Let's add some population over here while we can, right? So 25, 25, 25, 25, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we'll put a population center here. Let's go with, let's do it like this. We'll go 1, 2, Let's put a population here of 100. So we have a population 100 here, 25, 25, 25, 25. That's 200 people over here. So we only need 300 here, and that's going to break down into 12 squares. $25 here. Go, let's do this, 25 here. 269, that's 469. We need 300. That's 100. Woof. Okay. We're gonna have to have the math here technically works, so let's push this one to 200 just because I can. And let's push this to 369. No, we can't. It has to stay at 269 because there's only 100 per square at most. I'm trying to leave these as thin as possible to spread it out to make it look more agrarian. I think that's the word. More pasture and crops than tight density. So I want it to be very sparse. But yeah, I am going to have to distribute wider. So 25, 25. Let's just spread it out, and we'll change how we're doing land furrow. 25. We'll go here. 1, 2. We'll go to 25 here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That works. 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll put another 25 here, and then we can go. I want to leave these blank if I can. 269. That's 369. 669. I only need 2 more 25s. Where is that going to come from? Let's pack them in a little bit tighter here, and in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. There we go. Cool. And we can still leave this ground fallow, and all these areas are still occupied. That actually still works. So it's a little tighter, dense. It's a little more densely packed than I like for farmland. But it's technically it's okay. We could technically expand this out more if we wanted to, but this is going to work. So that population breakdown works. 269 here. 200 free floating here. We've got 100 free floating here and 200 here. So we packed that all together, 100, 300, 500, 769. There we go. That actually works out. Okay, so that's our distribution. Now let's look at specific, unique bastions, like a standalone guilds that operate inside this place. So jumping over here, Redstone. It has its unique bastions. The governing bastion, which is second rank, is... did we not define what that was? We have a mining refinery. We have a grain plantation. And I guess we didn't finish. We have the mining refinery. That unto itself is fine. 4, 6, 8, 10. No, that's 8 points. These are unfinished. Okay. What time is it? It's 8:30. I don't have the time to build out each of these bastions so they're full. And we haven't actually completed the bastions on this one at all. So we need to come back and build out the rest of Redstone. So let's go up here. Let's go with finish building the unique bastions for Redstone. But let's see where it's sitting right now to see how far we can get through this. We've got about 30 minutes left on the block, so let's see what we can do. Chunk. Yeah, thanks a lot for everyone that's been watching this. I'm glad you're finding it entertaining. Okay, so we have Redstone. Redstone has 17 Bastion points, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13, and then a pocket of 4 basically temporary points that we can burn under damage if necessary. That all looks good. Okay, cool. So let's, this will be fun. Let's build out a specific bastion. So we're going to take this document. Let's go to the Bastion Campaigns. Let's go down to our listed facilities. So when we build a community, we want to think about, like, this one harvests crops, field crops, and iron in a mine. Okay, so that means what do we need? We're going to need guild halls for iron mining. We're going to need gardens and or greenhouses for crops. That's generally what gardens and greenhouses represent. We're maintaining a lifestyle, a comfortable lifestyle. That's great to hear. There's poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy, and aristocratic on a scale of 1 to 5. So for our community to maintain a lifestyle, we do an ability check using our maintain order. And the way that an ability check, for a second rank, for Redstone, which is a second rank community, it's +2. It's a D20 +2 for the rank, and then the proficiency die for a second rank is a D6. D4, D6, D8, D10, D12. That's the proficiency die variant rule in the DMG 2014. That's what we use. So when we do a lifestyle check to see how wealthy is the community right now, we'd roll a D20 +2 +D6, which will give us a range of anywhere from 4 to 30. So it's possible if we rolled a 20 on D20, a 6. It's only a +2, so we can only get to 28. So it's impossible for us, for this village, to have an aristocratic lifestyle. But if we rolled a 25 on our, say we rolled a natural 20 +2, and then we got a 3 or better on the D6, that would be 25. So that would mean we would be able to maintain a wealthy lifestyle, because rolling a wealthy lifestyle is a 25. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy, aristocratic lifestyles. And the level of lifestyle that you have in your community determines the quality of material that you can provide. So in Redstone, maintaining a comfortable third rank lifestyle 3, that means that any facilities that we have that could create stuff, like a garden can create poisons, for instance. So any poison up to 400 gold in value, which would be the uncommon cost, like common is 100, 400, 4,000, 40,000, and then legendary items are 200,000 or more. So, or basically 200,000 gold piece chunks of building things, depending on how expensive they are. But legendary items can be created with a 5th rank, like a 5th rank workshop, or a 5th rank garden could create legendary potions and poison from natural materials. And since the community is only 2nd rank, they can only provide materials up to 2nd rank to make magic items and stuff. So because of the size of Redstone, 2nd rank is uncommon. They can't really produce anything magical that's above an uncommon magic item, because they're only 2nd rank. And they have to maintain at least a 2nd rank lifestyle for those materials to be available. So them maintaining a 3rd rank lifestyle, a comfortable lifestyle, means that the community is wealthy enough to have materials and components and things available that anything of 2nd rank, like up to a 5th level character, would up to an 8th level character would make use of. So like a 3rd or 4th level magic item, or like spell components, for example. Like if I wanted to, I don't know, what's a spell that requires a magic that requires some sort of material components that's like 3rd or 4th level. Whatever it is, you can find it in this community, because 4th level is the high end of what a 2nd rank facility can provide, and we have a wealthy enough lifestyle to have that material be readily available. So if I want to purchase material components for 4th level spells, that like banishment might require like a silver brazier or something like that. I don't know. But whatever, if that were the case, you'd be able to get that silver brazier in this community because it's a wealthy enough lifestyle that, yeah, it could have something up to 400 gold pieces in value readily available. And we can readily build things up to 400 gold of value, whether they're magic items or like a ballista, for instance, is it costs 250 gold. So the workshop, if we had a workshop somewhere in Redstone, we would be able to commission that workshop to build ballistas for our Spelljammer ships, because ballistas cost less than 500 gold, less than 400 gold. A catapult costs, I think, costs 500 gold. So we would have to be in a third rank settlement to be able to have the materials and level of skill to be able to produce a catapult. The ballistas are basically just really big crossbows, so they're easier to make. They also do less damage. Go figure. So yeah, we're looking at the governing bastion. A bastion in this system, a bastion is a type of facility. So a bastion, like your fortress is your bastion, and if you get the settlement facility, you can now start commanding the land around outside of your fortress as your own community. And once you have a settlement, other third parties can start putting their own bastions inside of your property if you allow them. Like if I wanted to build a fortress inside of your fief, you'd be like, no, you can't build a fucking fortress here. This is my fief. I am the commander here. I am the authority. You cannot build a fortress here. But I'll let you build a tower. Or like you can build a workshop, or like you can build a gaming hall or theater. All these like an observatory. You can build these different things here. And the rank of the facility is the minimum size of settlement needed. The minimum rank of settlement to build that facility. Like if I want an observatory in my settlement, I have to be at least a third rank, which is a town of 1,000 to 10,000 people. That's a large enough mass of people with enough resources available to be able to build things up to 4,000 gold or rare value. We can put an observatory inside of this settlement as a third rank bastion. So if I'm in a second rank settlement and I personally have a third rank bastion, my bastion requires resources larger than what the community around it can provide, which means I have to establish a trade route with someplace else that has access to third rank materials and resources or higher that I can then use to pipe in the material that I need to maintain my third rank status in my bastion. That's how trade lines get created. Once you establish a trade route, you can spend bastion points to basically tap it like mana in Magic the Gathering and maintain that trade route so that it will always be able to provide those third rank resources available to you, assuming that your source is capable of maintaining a comfortable lifestyle and producing the materials that they need. If they're sieged or attacked by kaiju, they could have their facilities and resources damaged so they can no longer provide that trade route to you. So at the end of the current bastion turn, that trade route goes down, and you now have to reestablish that trade route. Well, we're being attacked by kaiju, chief. Until these kaiju are gone, we can't reestablish that trade line. This now becomes a plot, an adventure hook for your characters to go in and rescue that community from their kaiju. We love you so much, we're going to give you a discount on your trade route as a reward. We're going to pay for the trade route for you, so you don't have to pay for it as a thank you for solving the kaiju problem. So like you can get bastion points as rewards to pay for things for your bastions to operate instead of getting gold and magic items and shit for your characters, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're in a second rank community, so I'm going to roll a 2d12 and a d4 and subtract 2. That'll give me a range of 1 to 26. There's 26 facilities that require first or second rank to have access to. So when we build the capital, the actual structure that rules Redstone, it's going to be a bastion that has the settlement facility to build Redstone around that central structure. And that central structure also has the government facility, which allows you to have enough infrastructure and bureaucracy to actually maintain a settlement of up to 1,000 people. So we have 769 currently in this community. If we tack on an extra 250 people, we are now a large enough population to become a town of 1,000 or more people, which is 3rd rank. So if we get a population of 1,000 in this community, which we could do by issuing the recruiting order with time, we could pull more people in, and as they come in, we could also be working to increase the number of Bastion points that we have, so that by the time the population hits over 1,000, we'll have over 20 Bastion points. Currently, this community has 17 Bastion points. It's very close. It needs another 250 people. It needs another 3 Bastion points to get to... it actually needs 4 Bastion, 21 points, it becomes 3rd rank. So 4 more Bastion points and an extra 250 people, this village will become a town, and it will upgrade to 3rd rank. And all these facilities that are in them, the storehouse, the guild halls, the barracks, the gaming hall, the garden, we can upgrade all of those to 3rd rank. So now we have, we'll have a cap of 4,000 gold per week that we can produce, like in magic items and shit like that. So we need to have a central structure that basically founded Redstone. So I'm going to roll on the Bastion table my 2d12 plus d4 minus 2 and get a result of 1 to 26, and choose from the 2nd rank column here what is the main purpose of the facility that originally created Redstone. So 2d12 plus d4. So here's my d4. I've got my black and white 12-siders. I dropped my 12-sider. Where'd my 12-sider go? I've lost it. Oh well, I'm gonna have to let it go for now. It ran away earlier when I was doing a random die roll and I lost it. So, but I've got a d12, so we'll just use the d12 and I'll just roll it twice. And here we go. So I'm rolling. D4 is a 2, so I'm going to subtract 2, and my D12 is a 1 and a 2, so that's a total of 3. So number 3 is, hey, it's an armory. How about that? So the main governing bastion was originally an armory. And Redstone, tell me more about Redstone. Cropfields, Iron Mine. Armory with the Iron Mine makes a lot of sense so far. Barracks is good. Gaming hall, garden. I'm getting kind of an adventuring vibe off of this thing. So, is the title of this place? What might be a cool title? Let's deck out our points. So we have a total. This unique bastion is going to be 2nd rank. We don't know how many points it has. So a 2nd rank bastion is going to have. A 1st rank bastion has anywhere from 1 to 10 bastion points that we spend to acquire facilities. Each facility requires 1 point per rank. So like an observatory is a 3rd rank facility, so you can't get one until you're a town or a 3rd rank bastion. But once you do, you spend 1 point for that observatory to be 1st rank. You spend a 2nd point for it to be 2nd rank. And then since you're a 3rd rank bastion, it can cap at 3rd, but you had to spend 3 bastion points to get the observatory to 3rd rank. And so a 2nd rank bastion has anywhere from 11 to 20 points. If I get 21 points in my bastion, it's now a 3rd rank bastion, regardless of what my character level is. So if I can adventure specifically focusing on acquiring bastion points, I could potentially have a 3rd or 4th rank bastion, even though my characters are only 4th or 5th level. Kind of like in Ravnica, if we gain slow experience but quick renown, we can have higher ranks in, like, say, the Azoria Senate than our character level would imply. Basically, like in the renown system, it's like every 3 points of renown is, you basically pay like 3 points of renown per character level. So by the time you get to 20th level, you've got 60 renown, and you need 50 renown to get to the top rank inside of any of the guild, like any of the Ravnica guilds, or like 50 plus piety puts you at maximum piety with your gods and pharaohs. So that's how that system works. So, but with this system, you can gain bastion points as treasure, like we were talking about earlier. You can gain bastion points as treasure instead of like thousands of pieces of gold that are like just giant piles. That doesn't make any sense. No, instead of giving you, like, say, instead of giving you 5,000 gold as a reward, The king instead is going to invest his architect to help you build your garrison. So he's going to give you a free barracks, 3 points of barracks for free. So you got 3 bastion points for free instead of like 1,000 gold per bastion point. At first rank, each bastion point is worth 100 gold, 1,000 gold each, 10,000 gold each at third rank, 100,000 gold each at fourth rank, which is a city with a population of 100,000 or more doing business every day. And then a metropolis, 5th rank, like Waterdeep, each bastion point that they gain is basically worth 1,000,000 gold worth of commerce. So as your bastion increases and your characters increase rank, as you go on missions and perform adventures, you can get away from a pile of 5,000 gems worth 10,000 gold pieces each. Instead, it's like, no, when you perform this mission for us, the kingdom is going to give you 4 bastion points for you to build a garrison and like maybe like a teleportation circle so that they can get quick access to your resources and call on you when they need to. So they'll pay to have those facilities installed into your bastion or in your community so you can become more closely synced with the king that gave you that mission that you succeeded at. Here's your reward. I've given you a title of land, and that title of land comes with 15 bastion points to build the settlement. Go forth and build a fief and make me proud. Go fight the ogres that are out there. Build an army. Go kill shit. That's what you do. So our basis here is an armory. And we don't know how many points it has, so let's roll a d10 plus 10. It has 19 bastion points. So this thing is super close. 19 BP, second rank. It's super close to leveling up. So name goes here. We can put 2 points into armory. We have 19 points to spend. That's a generous budget. So we're gonna put we're gonna give ourselves a pocket of 5 BP. These are 5 bastion points we're specifically not spending so that we can spend them when we need them. Like I get a number of orders equal to my rank plus 1. That plus 1 order has to be spent on maintaining a lifestyle. But the other orders that I get, I can do whatever I want with them. But I only get those 2 extra orders because I'm second rank. I could issue more orders, but I can only order 1 issue per bastion turn per facility, so I could have multiple armories. So if I want to build multiple suits of armor, for instance, I could have multiple armories operating at the same time, building shit. And I'm spending multiple points on them. So I'm keeping a pocket of 5 because I could issue an extra order by spending a bastion point. As long as I have facilities that are open, I can continue issuing orders if they can be issued orders. Like you have the basic recruit order, the basic maintain lifestyle order, the basic repair order that the bastion itself can do. But each of the facilities allows us to perform unique orders, like build armor, create a magic ring, research a magic spell, blah, 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 blah. Each facility can do different things, and depending on the rank of the facility, like a first rank arcane archive can only research up to first level spells. But when it's second rank, it can research up to, second level spells? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, first level spells at first rank, up to third level spells at second rank, up to 5th level spells at third rank, 7th level spells at 4th rank, and we can research 9th level spells at 5th rank. So if I had a 5th rank archive, I could research any spell of any level. It's just going to take time based on its level to be able to do that. And the ability to research a 8th and 9th level magic spell, it requires a DC 30 die roll. If I fail, I have a complication. And you can imagine what kind of complications you could have in trying to research a 9th level spell. You're going to have a bad fucking day. Probably something worthy of 17th level characters to go on a 6-hour adventure as a one-shot to solve whatever problem arose as a result of you botching that research spell. We now have a genie that's pissed off because apparently you're trying to tap into its life force to gain access to the wish spell. Well, you fucked up. And now you've gotten the genie's attention. So now genies are besieging your bastion, trying to destroy your archive because they think that you're trying to steal their souls. That is now your problem to deal with. Enjoy 17th level characters. And, you'll probably have to go to the plane of air to talk to some sheik or something to resolve all that shit. But that's the adventure. And, that got caused because you failed your die roll. If you succeeded your die roll, you wouldn't have had a problem at all. But so we have 19 points. 5 are being kept in our pocket for extra orders or just to take damage. It's like temporary hit points. Like if a kaiju comes along and deals 4 points of damage to the community, I can absorb that damage from the 5 Bastion points I'm keeping in my pocket. I can take 5 points of damage each Bastion turn and still operate at full efficiency. If I keep those Bastion points and I don't lose damage on them, I can issue extra orders, or I can establish additional trade lines or whatever. So I have a lot of flexibility I can use those points for, but primarily you want to keep a pocket. So if you get damaged, your facilities don't. Because if I lost 10 points, I could take 5 out of my pocket, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, I could take, I can't damage the settlement. And if I damage the government, if the government rank drops below the settlement, I can no longer govern the settlement, and civil war and chaos ensues. So I'm going to do everything I can to avoid touching the government and the settlement points. So I lost 10 points. So 5's coming out of my pocket. Both of my armories are going down, and I've got more points I can spend elsewhere. So we'll see what those are. But I would rather lose anything over the government and settlement. If I lose points in the settlement, that means that buildings burn down. If I lose points in government, that means that I've lost control of my settlement, and there's now coup, anarchy, civil war, rioting, burning down buildings like we were talking about. It's a problem. So you can have a government a higher rank than the settlement, but if the settlement's higher rank than the government, you've got a problem. Your settlement's too big for your ability to manage it. You need to reduce the population and kick people out to minimize your size, or you need to invest Bastion points into expanding the government to be able to properly manage and bureaucrat all those people. Does that make any sense? I've got 19 points. I have a total of 7. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah. So that's how it's going to sit. That's a decent spread. They don't all have to be second rank. The armories are second rank because this place started off as an armory. That is what it does. It's an armory. Started as key facility equals armory, which means it's going to probably have it'll always be the max rank, and there's probably multiple like Polly's Potion Emporium. It is 17 Bastion points worth of workshop and laboratories, building nothing but potions. If it takes a hit, it loses potion production, for instance. I like Polly's Potion Emporium. It's pretty cool. We'll finish off this governing bastion, and then I'll call it for the day. We'll be back doing this again on Monday next week and Thursday next week. We do artwork for the books that I publish Monday through Friday in the morning, like tomorrow morning. And then Saturday morning, instead of doing artwork, we work on Magic the Gathering, MTG color mana conversion for D&D, converting character classes and subclasses, and the martial power system, which converts martials into mana characters, kind of like monks and half-casters are. Super fun stuff. We've been playtesting that stuff over a year. It's really good. It's just my stuff takes a while. So let's see. What are the other facilities? Let's just roll again on the random table to see what facility crops up, and then we'll decide whether it's first or second rank. So we roll. I got a 2 on my D4 again. So subtract 2. 1 plus 4. That's a 5. So barracks. That makes sense. Barracks. And depending on the rank of the barracks determines how many soldiers are in the garrison. First rank can have up to 10. Second rank can have up to 100. So we have one barracks at second rank in this community. Is it second? I'm going to ask the Oracle dice. Is the barracks second rank? Yes, it is. Is there more than one barracks in this bastion? Yes, there is. Is the second barracks also? No, it's only first rank. So we're going to have a second barracks that's only first rank. So it's going to have 110. 100 soldiers. Barracks, 10 soldiers. So this is an expansion, so we'll probably have like the 10 soldiers will probably be over here. And then we'd have the 100 soldiers over here. I think that might make sense. We have wait. The settlement itself also has lots of barracks. And this is an extra garrison. So the governing bastion itself has 110 soldiers inside this population of 269. That is a huge population. Like a third of the population are military in this establishment. That's actually very notable. So let's go ahead and put a notation here that 110 soldiers. That leaves a total of 200 soldiers to kick around, up to 200 soldiers to kick around elsewhere. So let's put another 50 soldiers over here. That seems like a decent population. We could do a lot more, but the size of the population doesn't warrant it. So there we go. So now we have a strong bastion here, a strong barracks, a strong garrison here. We have a strong garrison here for the size of the population. That's pretty good. Let's see. Ooh, and we can have like a watch, like over here, far away from the fortress. We can have a garrison, and we'll put 50 soldiers in this one too. So 50 soldiers here, 50 soldiers here, and then we have 110 soldiers here. So this is like a highly militarized rock that we're looking at here. I'm pretty cool with that. So barracks are good. That gives us an extra point down here to spend. Let's randomly roll to see what our next bastion is going to be. So D4 minus 2. I rolled a 1. Nope, that's a 4. So 2 points plus 1 again. So that's 3 points and 11, 14. So let's scroll down to 14. That is a pub. Okay. So this place has a pub. Is the pub first or second rank? 1 to 3 equals 1. 4 to 6 equals 2. It is a second rank pub. So this place has an armory, barracks, a pub. This feels like a fortress. This feels just like a military fort. Let's find out what the X factor is for the last facility that's going to have to be first rank. But there's 26 of them, so let's find out what it's going to be. This will be our little wild card. So that's a 4, that's a 2, and then 2 plus 11 is 13, and 5 is 18. So let's scroll down to 18. It is we already have a settlement, so we can re-roll that one. 17. Let's add a d6. 17. It's now 21. A stable. Okay, stables. We already know there's Pegasi, which are CR2, which require second rank. So these guys, do I want to upgrade the stable and reduce the pub down to 1 so we can get access to Pegasi? Yes, we do. 2. The pub will be... Ooh. We'll put the pub at 2, and we'll reduce our pocket to 4 instead of 5. And now we need to maintain... we'll need to maintain a lifestyle. Lifestyle requires an order, and it has to be rolled. So pub rolls an extra. We get to roll D20 plus 2 because it's a second rank facility. Thank you, Timely Timer. Where is it at? Unique Bastions. There we go. The Governing Bastion, name goes here. This is going to be like a fortress of some sort. I don't know why it popped into my mind. Let's call it Goalie Fort. Maybe it's built into a ravine. Ooh, that's a neat idea. Is this thing built into a ravine? Yes. So we'll call it, Goalie Fort. Key Facility Armory. So Gully Fort it has barracks, it has a Pegasi stable, so there's flying mounted soldiers here. Decent sized pub. They like to drink, they like to fight. This is just the governing bastion. Redstone itself has everything that it needs for its mining operations and for harvesting. So that's all taken care of here. These are just unique bastions, like unique structures and guilds and stuff that are inside of the Redstone community. So Gully Fort is the governing bastion. It's a military outpost originally, apparently. We've got our pocket of 4 points. We get to roll a d20 plus 2 because of our rank, and a d6 because second rank rolls a d6, and because we have a pub, let's go look at the pub real quick. What benefits does the pub get? What is the gaming? We don't have a gaming hall. We have armory, government, and settlement. So let's look at the government. The government gives us a unique benefit of when issuing the trade order, we can roll an additional die. And when you govern a number of bastions, the settlements equal to your rank. Okay, so if we spend a downtime using the government as our character's downtime activity, we gain political influence, which is a character that spends a bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility, the government. You gain advantage on all charisma checks with hirelings and residents within a bastion or settlement that the bastion governs for a number of bastion turns equal to the rank of the facility. So we're a second rank government inside the second rank community. If my character, like if my bard, were to spend a downtime this bastion turn just simply doing government stuff, meeting people, taking meetings, ribbon cutting ceremonies, kissing babies, whatever. At the end of that bastion turn, for two full bastion turns, I'll have advantage on all my charisma checks whenever I'm interacting with anybody inside of my settlements or my bastions. So that's a huge advantage. Like, that's a huge governing advantage. So that's really useful. But it doesn't do anything for our lifestyle check. So I think the pub does. Let's go down to the pub. The pub facility benefits when issuing the maintain order to determine the lifestyle of your bastion. You can roll an additional bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. Since the pub is second rank, that's an extra d6. So I'm going to roll a d20 plus 2 because of the rank. And then a d6 because of my bastion is second rank, and a second d6 because the pub is also second rank. When I roll those two 6-sided die, I don't add them, I keep the best one. It's kind of like super advantage for my proficiency dice. So I'm going to roll a d20 plus 2 and a 2d6 on top of it. And we'll see what result I get. I rolled a 15 on the 20-sided die plus 2, so that puts me at 17. I rolled a 5 and a 6. So I'm going to keep the 6 plus my 17. I just rolled a fucking 25. So I am currently maintaining a wealthy lifestyle. DC 25 is a wealthy lifestyle. And I can maintain that for a full month. So how far in is our bastion when we pick up the campaign? We're 2 weeks in. Wealthy, DC 25, rolled 25, can maintain for 2 bastion turns. So after this turn, we'll have 2 more bastion turns of a wealthy lifestyle. To maintain that wealthy lifestyle for the full month, I have to put 4 points into it. I am unwilling to put all 4 of my bastion points into maintaining a wealthy lifestyle because I don't have enough bastion points. I won't have any pocket. I am willing to spend 3 points though. So I'm going to go with lifestyle. I'm going to go with comfortable. Oh god, DC 25. That's that's wealthy, comfortable. Comfortable is only. Oh, I'm sorry. Wealthy is 4. Comfortable is 3. That's 3 points. So I'm going to leave myself with a pocket of 1. The comfortable only requires a DC 20, but I rolled a 25, so I got that. So I'm maintaining a lifestyle equals comfortable. This is where I'm supposed to have this line. Sorry, wrong line. Let me take my comfortable lifestyle and drop it down into the order. And here, lifestyle comfortable 3 BP. Because I'm sustaining that. And then I have 1 bastion point left over to absorb damage or to issue an additional order if I need to. So I'm kind of grinding the guardrail here, but this is just Gully Fort specifically. Gully Fort's doing what it's supposed to do. The actual community of Redstone, as its own bastion, actually has a pocket of 4 bastion points and is also maintaining a comfortable lifestyle. So that actually works out really nicely. So we've used up most of our pocket, unless Gully Fort is attacked directly, it's not going to take any damage. But it can use additional orders if it wants to repair the community. The community has orders, and this bastion has orders as well. So individual bastions inside of a settlement can donate orders to help the community if it wants to, but it's using up its own resources. It can't do as much because it's issuing orders to help other people instead of doing their own thing. You see how that kind of works? So let's see. We're maintaining the lifestyle. Trade, which is gather veggie materials as food from neighboring communities. We don't actually need to do that, but we do need to issue the order to harvest, which is equals gather crops to sustain food for population. We already know we have sufficient land for the population. We've already figured that out. We only need half the land because we have Druid using plant growth to bless our asteroid. So we get double the production, which means we need half the size, which is why we can have so little land devoted to such a large population. But we now need to make a die roll on our harvesting check, and we want to maintain for that population that we maintain. We need to roll at least a 15 on our die. And what do we have in our community for us? Oh, I'm sorry, we're already harvesting grains over here. That's right. Harvest crops to sustain food for the population. Lifestyle is comfortable. It's second rank. We have a leftover order. Extra order. Why aren't we issuing any orders with that right now? Let's do harvest. Right, of course. Harvest equals gather iron ore. That's what our other order is supposed to be. That's why. So we haven't developed the mining refinery yet, or the grain plantation, but redstone. There we go. Targeting craft falls miners to expand iron mine operations. Maintain lifestyle comfortable for weeks. Research, scouting patrol in the cold. Assess elemental. I'm going to move this research order down to here because these should be doing the crops. Sorry, I got my bastions juggled there for a second. So I'm going to drop this down here. Harvest, or crops to sustain food population. We can take this recruit order here and drop it down into Gully Fort. Targeting craft falls miners to expand iron mining operation for northern allies to create cold iron Fey Slayer. Oh my god, they're trying to develop cold iron right now. Interesting. So, that's right. We're trying to recruit craftsmen to create cold iron Fey Slayer weapons. I just ran out of music. We're almost done. I'm lost. Hold on. I got lost. There we are. And here we are. And here we are. Thank you. Back in the fold. Okay, great. So we have our governing bastion is Gully Fort. Next week, when we come back, we'll build out this mining refinery, which will be on the separate asteroid. The asteroid over here it has crops, but it also has the iron mine that we're working. So that's where this is located at. And then this is largely just crops. So we'll have the iron refinery on the separate asteroid over here. So that'll be fun to build out. And where are we at with this Gully Fort? Gully Fort it should be fully built out at this point. Gully Fort, here's all our bastion points. Lifestyle is comfortable, 3 DP. 3 points for lifestyle. We have 1 pocket, 1 bastion point is our pocket. The orders that we've issued, obviously lifestyle to maintain that. Research, scouting patrol into the cold to assess ice elemental threat. Because again, in the campaign that we're building here, the moon in orbit right here, this is Frisia, which is the plane of ice and imprisonment. And Fernia, number 4, is the lake of fire. So our community is trapped between fire and ice. Most recently, when a full moon came by, it created a manifest zone to Frisia, which is empowering ice elementals to populate the region. So when we zoom into the community map, this is where the Frisia manifest zone is. This is cold enough to damage crops. This circle here is cold enough to kill you. Ice elementals don't care. They probably don't even know there's a problem. They probably don't even know we exist. We don't know what the elementals are thinking about, but we know it's an environmental problem that needs to be resolved because it's growing. So currently, it's damaging crops in Cragfall, Redstone, and Capital Rock. But these 3 communities are currently okay. But if we don't take care of this Frisia zone issue sometime soon, both Scaver Cove and I forget Fell Rock, I think is the name of that one. Those will fall, and then Far Hope will be the last that goes. And by the time Fell Rock is too cold to grow crops, these places are going to be too dangerous to live. They're going to have to vacate, and everyone is going to have to migrate over here out of fear of being killed. So it's going to be a problem. This has to be dealt with sooner or later. The team is only 5th level right now. They might not be a high enough level to deal with it. And they have kaiju attacking these communities. They can't go fly off over here and fuck around in the manifest zone. They have to protect these communities. So Gully Fort has used some of their resources to start diving into the manifest zone to research a scouting patrol into the cold, assessing the ice elemental threat. This is their current research order. And the pub, if we go back to the pub, the pub has a unique order. Research. You can issue a research order unique to this facility to observe conversations and overhear rumors about recent events, local items, locations, or NPCs as detailed in the issuing unique order section below. So when I roll my research roll, as long as I roll a 10 or above, I can ask questions as though using contact other plane as a result of the rumor gathering that I've performed. So I can issue that as an order if I wanted to. I can use my barracks to issue a recruit order to send a patrol to scout an area that's within reach of that patrol. So I can scout out into the manifest zone of the cold snap to find out what's going on with the elementals there. So I'm going to use my order as a D20 plus 2 plus D6 to see what result I got. As long as I roll at least a 10 or above, the scouts will return with information. 10 equals I can ask one question. 15, 20, 25, and 30. So if I roll I can't on a D6 plus 2 D20, I can at best roll a 25. So I'll be able to ask up to 4 questions. So when these scouts return, the team is allowed to ask 3 plus 15, 18. I can ask 2 questions. So at the end of this Bastion turn, the team is going to have the ability to ask any 2 questions that they want about the manifest zone, and I will answer truthfully as the DM, but that's all they get. They can use that to then send in additional scouts to try to gather additional information, but they'll have to roll at least a 20 to get any new information. they have to outroll their last roll. And once I get to DC 30, I can keep hitting DC 30s, and that'll allow me to stack up extra 5 questions on that. But if I roll less than a 30, I don't get any new information. If I roll less than a 10, I create a complication. Like, your scouts have been killed by ice elementals, they don't come back. Shit. There's a problem out there, apparently. Let's go find their bodies. Maybe they're still alive. So we rolled a 15. Equals roll 18 equals 2 questions when returned. And now we're doing recruiting for a craftsman. We're trying to find craftsmen that are capable of creating cold iron. Cold iron doesn't cost 4,000 gold. It's going to be up to 400 gold. It's a second ranked thing to do. But we had a complication in trying to build it. So now we have to recruit somebody. Recruit, complication. Actually, it was craft, cold iron equals complication. Which the complication is we don't have somebody skilled enough to build cold iron. We have to find someone capable of doing it, which is a recruiting action. And since we're second rank, only looking for second rank material, cold iron, we only have to roll a DC 15. But a recruiting order, we don't have anything in our facility. Wait a second. What is the armory? I don't think armory does anything for us in this sense. So let's go look at the armory and see what it does. The armory, when you issue the defend order to protect your bastion from attack, you can roll an additional bastion die equal. As long as I roll above the damage that's dealt, I'm able to prevent them from damaging my facility. That's how you can do large-scale combat in a single die roll. Craft, you can issue the craft order. Empower, you can issue an empower order to create magical armaments, armors, shields, weapons. So it has the ability to craft and empower these things, but we're not going to gain any advantages on our recruiting check. So the DC is 15 and equals roll. The roll that we get is a D20 plus D6 plus 2. I rolled a 1, 2, that's 3, and I only rolled a 9. Oh, shit. Roll 9 equals trigger, cascading, complication. So I was originally trying to issue the craft order, which failed, and that created a complication. So let's go look at our complication table, and then we'll call it done for the day. There we go. Let's scroll down the complications. So when you fail a die roll, you look at the order that you're trying to issue. We were originally trying to do craft, make cold iron weapons to fight Fae. But we failed that check, so we roll a d6 to see what type of complication we have. And I rolled a 4. Hirelings to the facility lack the skill to produce the item, so I could issue the recruit order to acquire a new hireling familiar with creating the chosen item, which is where we're at. So that becomes a recruiting check that I just failed with a 9. So I created another complication. So I can't recruit this guy because of reasons. What is that reason? Let's find out. Let's scroll down to recruit 1 to 6. See how recruiting is not an option of the D6? It goes from maintain to research because you can't fix a recruiting problem by recruiting people. Recruiting caused the problem. You have to create a different sort of solution. So we're going to roll a d6. There's 7 orders in the Bastion system in the DMG. So whatever order you're currently issuing, if you have a complication by rolling less than 10, you then roll a d6. I rolled a 5. And now the issue is for research is 5, which is the target of recruiting is discovered to instead be a saboteur. So we could issue the research order to discover the saboteur's patron, or we could create an adventure to confront the saboteur's patron and potentially defeat them or whatever. But whoever this cold iron forger is apparently their saboteur or a liar. Target cascade complication equals research equals the craftsman is a spy, is a saboteur. And I'm going to use my Oracle dice, D6s, question and answer. If the answer is higher than is equal to or higher than the question, the answer is yes. So, using my Oracle dice, is this... We were doing this for the is this actually a spy of the Unseelie Court trying to find who's plotting against them? Yes. So the craftsman is a saboteur, is an Unseelie saboteur. Sabotaging, preventing cold iron weapons from being developed. There. That's our current circle. Like, this is a plot that's going on inside of Goalie Fort if the team gives a fuck about Redstone. So when the team decides that they want to take an interest in Redstone, all these things activate and this becomes their current turn. This is what's going on in Redstone when you guys ask. Here's what you're dealing with. If you want to get involved, you're now getting involved with the Unseelie Court and the Pirates of Lazar conflict that we showed in the Asteroid community over here. Outside of here, beyond this point over here to the right, to the east. Again, this leads to this is where the fourth Pirates of Lazar are currently at, and they're at war with the Seelie Court over here. So for whatever reason, Goalie Fort was commissioned to create cold forge weapons, which means that there's some sort of a relationship between the Pirates of Lazar and Goalie Fort. That becomes a point of interest. What is the relationship between Goalie Fort and the fourth Pirates of Lazar? That's a mystery. That's a mystery worth asking. And it can take the characters into all sorts of adventures if they decide to poke that bear. But that's what this Bastion system is designed to do. Give you things that you want to relegate to your Bastion to produce or provide for you. And when something goes wrong, it creates a plot hook that can create seeds of adventure that leads you down a path, reinforcing whatever it was that you're trying to do. You're now getting invested as characters in the development of cold iron weapons to help the pirates. Maybe Goalie Fort is trying to form some sort of a military alliance so that the Pirates of Lazar stop attacking us, and instead we provide cold weapons to them so they can fight the Unseelie Court. That makes a lot of sense. I would allow that. I like that idea. So that's what's going on in Goalie Fort right now. And that's where we're going to pause for today. So I'm going to go ahead and kick out of here. It's 9:20. We've been at this for like 2.5 hours or something. That's a good stretch. I do this on Monday and Thursday nights. We're building this into a live campaign that we're going to run this Bastion system. Each Bastion turn is a week in the game, and it's 4 sessions of playtime. So each Saturday we play for 3 hours. So each month we'll have 12 hours of gameplay where we're fighting kaiju and discovering these plots and doing geopolitics and creating a ruckus and potentially getting in trouble, fighting ice elementals, fighting the Unseelie Court, maybe botching it up with the Pirates of Lazar, and now they're angry at us. These are all the different things that are going on. The players decide what do they think is interesting. So they have 4 weeks during this Bastion turn to have one downtime activity each. Go fight kaiju as they show up in the different communities as Spelljammer Space Combat that we've been talking about. And then the other one session will be spent on Bastion turn and developing plots and managing resources for whoever wants to get involved in that. And then the next 3 weeks will be a mix of kaiju battles, personal interest, like your own pursuits, your own plots that you're pursuing, and resolving complications through the guilds and the settlements and bastions. So at the end of a 4-week stretch, which is basically 12 hours worth of gameplay, we'll have had a couple different like little one-shot little adventures that take a couple hours each to perform, some downtime activity resolution, updating consequences of our current Bastion turn, and then issuing new orders, and then I'll kick off another cycle. So every month we'll gain a level, each level with each Bastion turn. We'll start at 5th level in March, and then April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 8 levels later, we'll be 13th level, reaching 4th rank, having larger mecha and very rare magic items, and we'll end the campaign somewhere around there. So it'll just be an 8-month stretch. If everything runs smoothly, 32 weeks of gameplay, about 100 hours of game from level 5 to 13, running these Bastion turns each month. So that's why we're taking all this time to build out all this stuff, so that we know what's at each settlement, what's at risk. We now know the resources, the areas, like when a kaiju shows up to attack this place, it has anywhere from 1 to 26 between these two asteroids that are in close orbit with each other. The kaiju will attack one of these squares or one of these triangles. So we'll want to roll like 2d10 plus d8 minus 2. That'll give us a range of 1 to 26 areas that the kaiju will attack. And it will deal damage to whatever area it is. So if it's an unpopulated area, like up here or over here, it technically didn't do any damage, so we don't take any Bastion points of damage. But if it attacks like one of these areas or one of these areas, it's going to damage Bastion points worth of facilities, potentially disabling the iron mine, disabling too many goat pastures, so now we don't have enough food available. So now we're falling short, and that creates a complication. And now we have to deal with the geopolitics of repair our iron mine so we can keep producing iron, so we can make those code forged weapons to supply the Pirates of Lazar. Otherwise, they're going to get angry and come here and start kicking our skulls in. Do you want to fight 7 hammerhead ships? That's going to be one fucking hell of a battle, and if you lose your Spelljammer ship in that conflict, you can no longer fight kaiju. So, like, you kind of have to... Geopolitics will have a major impact on how this campaign runs because of the level of threats that are facing the community. And hopefully, whoever decides to recruit on with us loves this kind of an idea and dives into this system and picks and chooses like a buffet of, like, what things do they want to get involved in as a team. And that's where we'll build our adventures towards, the stuff that they think is cool out of all the shit that's going on. Because anything that you don't pick gets resolved by itself through these Bastion checks, these passive Bastion checks that we're making. You only apply your attention and do player stuff with the complications, events, and orders that are of interest to you. So that's the idea. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and kick out of here. God bless. Thanks so many people that have been checking this stuff out today. I really appreciate y'all tuning in and checking this thing out. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. minus 8 UTC Pacific Standard Time here in Seattle. I have from 6:30 till 8 o'clock to do artwork every morning. Then I go to my day job. I might jump on stream to do some lunchtime stuff with the new Unearthed Arcana packet that came out for us to convert that into the color mana system. I'm really excited about that. So we might spend some time at lunch tomorrow doing that. And then Saturday morning, we're going to be doing that from 6:30 till 8. And then from 9:30 till 1 o'clock, we'll be playing Mage Tower with whoever it is that wants to build a 7th level character and show up ready to throw a rock or, to throw a ball around and to get in a fight with each other. So that's it for now, guys. I'm out of here. I will... Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everyone that's been showing up today. I really appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll see some of you guys then. Like and subscribe. We'll see who shows up. Cheers.